For a mamunina ha a ye Yamakwa Basonko at the Bamima inch so high and 100.9 FM. That was the Saudi Fidio no Ato has say now in Yana Ebeshia Boma a ye. Dr. Christopher Ampedu, the Samaritan. A baby, I will be a dog, Michiaupi. Sanso and Nana Ejenim Boate. Nana Mama Hene, baby, I will be a Nana Memoao. Dr. Shadrach Ajete Sowa, Lasu one. Chief, baby, I will be a Memo. Good afternoon. Sanso na me papa no maso for Reverend Eugene appear redo. Oh yeah, in charge of Emmanuel Presby Church. Ewo Fise. Papa one mama Sandra baby amu obi awie mechiam pi kwa. Sanso ena Prophet Kofidro. Papa one mama Rita monso awie mechiam o ma famose bidibino ate azie. Obibia wutie me awie me ma wa ha emo akwaba e wo kwan soro nkoso eya manwo fenchim enene ye ba besi ne koso na ye dididi ho enkomo wate ase na nsa na ye de nkomo twetwe no ankasa besa na ya na ebeba na ya na ye bibi prelims kakra na ehwe niema bi a ekoso a wutimu se ade we die senka anye seyi a anka ye anka beboa yen wate ase na wotwe wieye mu ene nya ne tie se NDC amayoko no eso mo kwakwa clean up exercise ewo kanema mpanyi John Dramani Mahama baby a wotie wo mo kwapra wo madodo no masiesie no nyina kama sabre kro no am so na fixing the country for wo so boabo mo se wo mo kwakwa ye picketing akwakwaji police order a che se police fo am mo kwan so wo mo konkoye eti o mu hunu se NDC si wo mo kwakwa clean up exercise da kro no a eno mo se ne ya twen asese nti mo nkona nkonkoye mo clean up exercise anya bi obi bisa say clean up exercise no eba so anase amaso ena wo hwe mfoni so a videos ni ade ababeto dwa bi nam social media ni ade a clean up exercise dey will be a kwakoye a enema o memema so no enu abi ne ade clean up exercise second because obedo ebi kita so obedo ebi kita praye obepra ye boy mu ase de pray bi first ye prayer ye de pra na tenten nso wo mu no so ebinum so fa bie na mehu se ebinum so him dusters as a clean we clean baby we mob so ne na mu ne ade eti eno no so ho na wo hwe said de mampanyi as o attach importance to nia ekoso no ho me de na nka meme pa de to me de na hu hia se ka mampanyi ebeka ho asem na nka hu hia kra se nka mampanyi ebeka ho asem in the first place because niam bebre na ha ye tete ya brabo platform no wo ho ma anka ne ye the way by yes why ignore na nya bia sa enseka ne ade no ene said ye kasa edi akire said me bebe me di ka bobo bi amote ye no kasa edi akire me dia me ye action man sa afo no soso no me ka kire wo sa problem abasa sia na ya twituo wuhuom ho framo trum wom ko omo na me action man na me dia me strong man na me dia me hwan na me dia me se no ehufo nkoa eti Ghana for titru political parties achidifo monhwam ho yie woni kutu na mo bia hwe ofie sanya bia ukokopra na wo obi a obehwew e wo hospital a ene di muneko why so upra ana bibi to na se wo chiginafo papa bi a wo bebo aboso aso asene mu aboa wo a wo de ekoso na meka en amata amafo no wo na anwene wo ho baako bese ono ananim ni bi na chi ni bi apan dan kwa wo sinse wiem no odim ubehu a omo susu na problem ba e ka won na fresh for na omo bi pa bi dia wo sum se wo hwe omo skin atum se yes omo me pompom fe no no me nam ho na wo a wo ni bi a wo bre sam woni fifire to da bi kura wo buada na edim na no akwa kopra boafo wo he enti wo to na mo bi ete saa minua hwe ho yi dwene ufie hwe baabia wo firi ba wo hu baabia wo kɔ mwate ya na ayo me de me besuja mama me hwe nkwan na anya bia sa de na ekɔ so no me tete ye me de maso tu fom de se clean up exercise bia am so edi no mkɔ za show off ne za ye den na a kyerɛ sen sa ne ma no se ye boa ye ho akɔ abato mu o aso anya bia wase yetimi so so esi epene so ma niema bia te saa ebetimi apagya ebetimi akɔfa wo haw aba no esi so ana ehia somdwo o mani mu ayeden omo meye keka akɔfa asem bia nsa ma me hankrofo o mani mu ayeden a yete ba bi din ye twen 7 December na ba bia kokoromati power ye de befa ne ade afa ye mpetwo ka bia me ye moja hwiegu bia ye besere mo saa de no mepese mo kaseti ama me nso mbafo aso nso amomfo aso na eduru ho a eya amoakɔ wato sante na moakɔ akɔkɔ ebia ne yepe wo wahu okonda wahu bi da ka mi wanu mfo wanu nka bi da eya bisa aye fensen Liberia fo Rwanda ya mumisa won ye wo mu fa mu ansa ne wo maduru ba bia wo maduru nipa awuo asem keke asem a obi ko kan mu de mo nyame aye madom na mo nya peaceful environment na mo tia amo nkama no ntum na mo fa mo nkɔbɔ nkrɔfo eduru hɔ a obeka se wura bia na ɔyɛ Ainit FM me manti ɔkan ye ene ye ntie 0302 243540 0302 243540 and 0302 257902 0302 257902. Hello, good afternoon.
Afternoon.
Maybe I told you baby afraid.
If I try premium Jaffa, because I preach my oil fan.
Maybe I treat you.
Mamma, my member, money more power with the more money. And I'm a chairman penning for Mr. Kappa, Ewa Shama, the Chiao Pa. Mambi ama sama wo kan de odika pa se de be ya o man be fa na asmu di afra. Na mambi ama yesi brebri amba amane so mba. Unim se ansa na mbabunu ya be sware akọ Ewura John Dramani Mahama office no. No obi so asigina e bi a mambi ama wo de yenka no kro. O dwen ho a wonti ase. Se o man mu ha ye wo police, ye wo soldier, ye wo special prosecutor. The bichire wa adwen kura na wonni de obeka kura mpo na wa na wo aban mu obetimi de nkrata no akwa kire. Ama a special prosecutor na say police ato nsa afre nipa na wo suspect na no. Na dwuma ese se o mu di no, o mo di ma na ye pepepe. Wo dia wo say da wa wo di otumi. Epese o ye de wa wukuma beto uyem wo ba radio so be de amanfo se obi bia wo ye bemma unim se wo ball mienu wo ase no saa da no ye bemma hia no wo ho nti man bia ma obi antimi ankasa ankyere owusu bempa kopem se onu amusa be ba se national security se manonko national security wine man bia ma bia wo demonstration na se bia police say man kwa yetimi bo say police commander na say police branch say na say man kwa
eno de eno no yanka se e mo asomasi a no bentin din eye police service national security ye mo so kwabrane ana so bentin ne say mamenko
mambia mama to wate mambia ma 2020 election nipa ahe na wu wo man mo nipa ebisida ya ye omo 95 okra me started up in 2000 up to 2004 to 2008 ebe we 2021 say who say military na say a service man maybe to any pass
okay Beda sipi hello good afternoon
hello
Pepa chodi ni baby afrefi yo mejo so aja ni mo yenko
Mati ongere na ahoye. Yaki kanyina ni se na nse kani ade no me na mpacho former president Mahama fi ono mu ko bu ya o ha na zo mu ko to abe. Kuruma ye din yi grantan ni ade ne ko don guru fi. Ye go bu ya. Nya cha jombo ni na be ni petrim no we no we na hukum ni pa na ade ne we nya wo. When this is one ya no me so mbe yigu FDP so ye mpensa ye pe ye stop that ade ni nyina nye. Mo chere pon de ne mo anya wo. What I say, I have one or the other one, try to be here, the other one for you. Mumu Saram was before the before Nana, Wumkulipa. I'm almost away. Standing here, now you are supposed to have a common common. And I almost keep pointing Jazana. Wouldn't you come out by politician with Jai? What do I say? Now, former president Mamma, you were drinking about Thomas. I could not have better to you.
Let us say, Johnny Momeda say, hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mami Soja.
Me pacho ni baby afrefi.
We need Mr. Nokurasa Mekasa Africa so baby a MP no tutu no container ne to abobon gum na ho pele mijina.
Pacho it you.
Mami Soja Mr. Wara Mami Chia me papa Alaji Kwando. Papa no obon ho modin yi. Na djuma penti me sure say enunyam de Nyankopon edi na enunyam ehye ebema no. Alaji Kwando baby a wo bi nyame kan na me Chia me maame na nantem ana chama so jare oba pa me pacho wo o mai me pacho hwan ni di o ma no so enye o mampani na Akufo-Addo oba pa me pacho me busa obi hwan na to mination in success obi aye fraud anaso obi adi jurum obi aye katase sha emra ne hye ne success obetwi woni akochere de edi na akogina emra no enye o mampani na Akufo-Addo Omampani that John Dramani Mahama. Me pacho no pa special prosecutor. And attorney general Godfrey Odami. Ni pese mi nkumnya juma wo ye no. Me pacho wan e pa no nya omampani na Akufo-Addo. It is excellency John Dramani Mahama ye bibia. Omo omajuma ne sen. Omajuma ne se ombeko akwachi no ade na kwogina mra no. No nsu bemba wono nsu wo kwa epikiti ewo omampani that fie no. Me pacho omampani that wono odi o ma no so. Me pacho sa den ayi cleaning na nke ya kwakoye no enye makitu abinti ana ama so
E ba ne say na ama so me da say
pacho uchiam official
me da sipi me da say hello good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mami Suda.
Me pacho di ni baby afrefi.
Yo, Mami Soja, who near Bema Abodini, Univa.
Yanko.
Yo, Mami Soja, if you agree, my Minchia incoming MP for a Dr. James Kofiana, Mayor Mami Ernestina, Ufuru Dangi, Agna West incoming MP. Mami Soja, Oba Kasa Woka Sendi. Na Mami Soja, Miss Rebiso, Aya Bonne, Embrace Hokine, Send me Kobame Papa, Nasa Soso, Namiki Kafna. Miko sisi me papa ni fie na miku tafna na mi so dia ya bone afona me de kwa no at the end of sisi na miko sisi no na mfin twe biara ma mfin di obiewu ma mfan wo biara na me de be fie ma mi so dia bone awu mi sen ma mi so dia afona ekikam na miko sisi me papa ni fie me de kwa no enkrofo bi se won so wo be ye piketon awo na wo piketon na ma mi so dia wo be ye no mimi who sent for what Babia Picketon won, mimi sent again. Nti se me kwa kwesi me papa ni fie wodia me abodre e o se me bo me ho ban sawa so won ti won hwa sia won fa sam no won fa court won ya bem nti mo metu ma prosecute no won fa court nti enne so wusu bempa na ende ona opo ade ma MPP se ne be ye bi no onu ne de ewum eno no ho nti na wamba enne ye papa na me ekufa do nyem sise no ye ni ha ayewa so wes wagon hwenie si wo ho okasa wo ho ye ni ha ena God Floyd on ye Ghana ni mpo wuti ano so wokun oye eyi Ghana ni be 1 month and Ghana ni 15 years ago wokun awa America eno otumi bo wa dem kasem kumia eye hypocrite amembu na ekofi
Mississippi. Hello, good afternoon. Hello. Hello. Oh. Hello. Good afternoon. Hey, where there's Angie Swede. Meti Biacho. Hey, we are Titinio. Hey, we are Titiniampa. I see. Young Queen and Oscar. So not the Maraqua.
Many of the American cheer me, MAAME, a break my no. Mambiama. More say, and penny for any Usman Pancasano. I didn't say penny for Usman Pancasa. Usman Pancasa of a hormone or Koyana. They didn't move with penny for the Casa as a penny for the Casa. Yeah, one connection and penny for the Casai. Mimi ni msee register before could be a dinner secretary was friend in the Kasai, Tema Wonko. The Zansi kind of weapons, no display. I said, and I saw Mampany air condemn. I don't know what me air condemn because Usman Power Uncle, the Usman Paco idea can issue or home, but one connected penny for Tiano, as the weapons of one display, whom you condemn. That I was going to pass on.
And I say, hello, good afternoon. Hello.
Hello, I'm BIAMAH.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
About your dinner, baby, Afrifi.
Within the AKWAFO, because I free Cantamanto.
I don't know, it's you.
Yo, BIAMAH. And Penifone Case can clear down for and set down for. Mammy BIAMAH, say, okay, assembly, what you have to again say, far in animal NBC for so Moka Cockney, Mampany, Dada, John Damani, Mamma Fee. Me Bianca, and your bonnet. Set more park or do the fee. No money, dear, maybe say. And the old Obifia. No, the incontima. What the a giant. And then second day, to me, echo, Emma, you meet me, Apostle Catholic, show your weapons, no more bodies, ye money, BIAMAH. And it's only a little man, get this focus over say, or money, you know, say, you need to me, Bianca, you bet me, I will be a bit near your partner. Let's say, among any mama, at the area, me, who you are going to say. and which is the course next or some bomb about to stop my yard. The next or one casa, maybe your cancer, NBC for the to trust and maybe a letter and no quantity. That's kind of form to until the American NBC party. No, and your party be on my way. I want to say, Uncle Mamma dear, but I'm a letter we know. And we transfer we are going to need Bia officer, officer, what on our bound, or that's it all, and talk about NBC because I've been bonnet over with Timpa. I'm the American with your baby.
Medasipi, hello, good afternoon. Hello. Yes, Macho Dini baby Afrefi. Oh, where's the?
Yo.
Aha, yanko.
Yema yikutapia nyamava kutapia.
Pacho ye.
Kutapia nyamava. Ego medi.
Famisi heya wa mpacho yanko.
Isi Evans ayim mahwe ni asitran.
Oh, asamo onu apenye.
Supra miswe kwa yo baby o. Mantini yanko. Yesu. Mami biama, mami mchia na ni bia koko. O kan ko no. Ni se party dey by. Che NDC ato da bina utrasia. Na ubisa hu say to assembly that deputy agadi wo kumasi. When you say mani biama ni paro no ko trafika show your weapon show your po. Abujina po MPP abujina po any brother. William Omana ye transforming Casio. I had to say there, and your man will be a year go pay. Then I could found that transform. Now, and this is for when we be IGP. So, be to me, Nancy call UTV near Cochin without knife, one fascicant, one fabia. Who and tell big promises, they are Cochin. Nay, I need party or Mustrasi. Now, I didn't know which shares of Mukoyen. Oman say, hey, for Mukono Doya, non Koya video. I do not know one for you. Now, people meet Transicas, show your weapon, show your weapon. Now, as at now, IGP, what mean me on yes, and you can go back to you. You talk as a banner, yes, Aru. And to the Naku for Robert Ram or BI will pro Manumana. Now this is for more power. Now, what transfer opposition? Now, we are dealing with IGP and a police for transfer. Now, show your weapon. And you know, yes, I didn't. You need to the whole video. What do you mean? Jesus Christ. And she said, Ghana had a transit to say, Banana Republic, I will be I have happy.
Medasipi, hello, good afternoon. Yeah, who didn't baby Afrefi? Yo, Ben Yanko.
I think we are begging months with that on my way, making one in Jazzy. I think I moved to Kavia, I am out for Ghana, and said, I'm Jazzy. Mammy? We and yet I did be as a young say in Brew Will. And I did the fuck for the mamma fee, I called them in war. Now, operating King exercise, when yet, and it's about 10 when yet, and when them send it, no, which went funny that, and then I was away war. Obitin fee, who had them, we are not city, we are there. I suppose that I would done your mamma and I summit in the sea in a no down. I want to work at our guy walking. I was a Yaka. I'm over to my Yagonia when you're a opportunity and then you tell Oka, woman, when you put and on. You do like Ogana, I want to walk. Who can with Manawaya? Who can amount to Mamma? Then away or okay, then we are not just then away. You can never know Ogana, I don't know. Never you demand and this is tell about Brocano. When I'm your wife.
A Radin Council, hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Maybe I told you baby Afrefi.
You're from Kwalaofi.
Yo, Kwalaofi.
Accra Central.
Okay, Yanko.
Edi kan mi chairman mi Teresa Awoni Okakwe no. Ya mention no. I'm a masamba kupena mi maker. Udu Bank of Ghana ni mwa AME. Tokro kese bi pa eda ho. Yo branch aba Bank of Ghana ni mwa befa Rollins Parker. Into obi ehunye. Na driver siye blessing. Hey. Mami ko ma sene so. Asama time for omo kwafu ma den omo kwafu. Enya sekai. Clean up exercise. E den e de ye kurum ye kobọ kwan a den e de sesi kurum. Enya aso seka na ade. Nda se men NPP for na kan. Omunya gbotre. Ye ko ye ne yan kan chiro bi ase ye kukum nimpa. Ye se kai clean up exercise. Eyo awo former president. Efie yankase kukum nimpo no obi so oye feed the country demonstrations and then yen dey fa yen clean up exercise na ye ko ye dey apply yen yes kan me sisi am sisi am ka am dey nam sisi asika dem because police force am say o ka akase no sika dem wahin
sika de misisi a what I say Samantha for ye can clean up exercise the second equadia omonti asese enindua ene clean up exercise ene enkokum obia ene entrete obia nso memum asem ni o memum tie wa obey wa we say clean up exercise no ba ha ye ne de e do be kam wa no simple.
Medase P. Hello, good afternoon.
Afternoon.
If I told you baby Afrifi.
If I saw just for the make a suffer Ashama.
Yanko.
Mambia Mamma Money Juma Paudi. And Mechia, my youth commander, Mr. Kampa, Mechiawa, so Ewa Shama. Mambia Ma, where the media assembly to a Nimukaka. One who say, Temamoto we run about. They saw Mala Bayano double road. Cars may be fast, Yokodonia, and may be so fast or a call a harbor. Committee 9, sorry, Committee 8, bus stop on the government school, the Ewa Horn. Amiama, Menu Walker say, Senya Ebia, Major Fanabia, Mastare of my chin, Tempa, Nama Shedda say me, Jinasa point, and also say, and Qualano Macro so quano, Akosa school Munino. Mepa cast natural my Pierre Gina, Copim said, Adia ya Tilbo who said, Papa Biswa Bano, so then to Mago. I bet you treat Yaho. I pay the actual drivers, no my Gina and San Anqualaya cross or that school nail committee 8 bus stop war. Mambiama, one here and some way to on and wash it, waiting in your mister. That cross my own some drop for normal. The end Jimmy Crana, I was our community. Bayam to wank and getting cramponi yet. Quite a bit my first man, Colaya, Jima Cross or Akoskumoma or Matima Bessias will be a double.
Oh, and come in what was so Kafra. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon,
About your dinner, baby Afrifi.
But your media is Kuplampo.
Yo, I can't go. Yo,
Meda, Mamma Pacho. Mahamano, no Mahamano.
Bacho. With all due respect, he's a former president of Ghana, and you address him accordingly.
Your former president, John Mahamano, and any pan out. Only what contract is what contract is completed. Ever to men, all that is not to vote. Assembly was from the body of consumption. Almost what I say to be. To me, when I what we have at you, at this time, one provide evidence to our party. Most of my from what I want to be a after most of the people in the Asian Digun and most of them factory, so put it on more. You ask it, more BIAMAH and San Okena. I don't know about the thing now. Will be better here. I don't come on to you. I don't say
a bedroom time, a bedroom, and so on. Near Papa Biafa, Mona Mube. Someone I will anymore. Mona Muko crazy. Mona Mubedica.
I'm coming direct to more color. More sure or country, no jack to buy. President Panos or Yamama now going on them.
Better say, hey, Ghana for. Say bedroom. Ajia Temuda. Hello, good afternoon.
Mami soja yini wa Samantha for you.
I'm with Namuni Mwana. There's a town for an Ameco. There's somebody between the affair. Whatever. We didn't baby Afrifi.
Without your party,
I jump at a yanko.
Oh, Papa. Maybe when it's a dinner cleaning now, and this phone quiet, you know. And the infant. Nimu, Ubepusa say, also then pan, and then pan water a free, John Damani Mahama on entry, and then water. So, by now, all say, me Ashima, the Ashima, Nebanium no. Sound on friend. It will be a Cassadia or Casa me Ashimaya or Chanti,
anybody was saying, and him say, or the action mind. Bra.
Who so be so bad, America or see a friend about it, will be so bad or see a friend on the class, will be so or see a friend on Harry. Oh, be our the guy. It is all. And you know, I'm going to call you. A big crowd, I saw that you need to go to the subject because we're better than campaign. What what I say.
And grandpa will be a former president. If you know,
the flowers the same and grandpa basso.
Oh, okay.
And you know that. Onyama okuta na ene je so mo kwa akodi ewu ana mo ko bibi.
Na nya bia clean up na ba so. Clean up na ba so.
Me ba so clean up.
Ukobi. Ukobi.
Nikobi.
Eje da na ama so kan wa ha ya na enti.
Eti ye sise date fufa eda no do a ye beko.
Yedi mu achi a. Yedi mu achi a.
Na mo aso ate.
Me dan se bye bye. Hey, hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Papa.
That's the same.
Iradi adome ho ye na so e.
Ya me adome friend of Jase, me free asama.
Ba cho it you.
Me the two months from 7. Me the travel na university was on Lawrence time. Nam ni KB num ne KK num. Na Syria College. Ba me kasa maybe MPP ni pa. Ba me kasa MPP ba me kasa me die kire akoba bia na se o president bi aba sama hanam di mirika ko fa me nye bibia man bia ma men kwan men fam to chacha ebi se no Dr. Baumia Kasano also akoba deda o se wa sabi o akwa kututu form awa burikire da akoye clean ana se akoye clean awo burikire asa said drama and then also president here the sablo the name kwato chacha nanka bia onimba bia obe nyame din beba beduru ene ye po bia eboni din wo Ghana ha ba ko ne ba omia ade che bia ni din ba out na se o de name kwato chacha aka masada nti mrantie na mabawa no masiso afi no mo ye politics no politics nye awudie politics ye kama menka bi kawasam tam sumen kama sam na me no bi share social media to Facebook o kana sam na meka aka afedo ya luso you know agreement no say oh afedo odidi matem tam se nyatem didie politics nyatem didie kama menka ka obetima ye am se menka dem timi tumrante no pese omo kra nsusu ni nkrofo papachi onhwe yi a okra no be free unsa na obi papa etewo am ya 2020 nipa be 80 wuye no kwane ya cheno nipa be 20 me wuye no wan ene ya cheno am bia mam asamba akwa mpesa me kan wa asama ponkata man su school no wo ye preba bi wo ko ribano ne ayi zenu ese school Johnson udruwa ye de container sisi wo bebre minim se ponkata man so district na jisika dio unim made hamba akon so ne se omo ye yie wo ho mimiri da bia de funu awo school num minim ba bia wo de munim hu djuma mam minim ba bia
Mate
me pa chama samba akon so maminka
oh papa we die mesra wa
me pa chawo asama polyclinic a man ko wa etu so mo ko yi operation doctor no say on hospital wo mata ko afinya kwan so now omo wa transfer omo do omo ko instead e be transfer omo de akọ general hospital no ye de ko omo hospital no omo ya fibulars no akọ omo ko yi operation wo na ka be brain ato amrantel mabawa iso mesra muni mudi mama denti omo ntimi ntrampa omo ko general na 37 no omo do omo ko mata ko yesi ba bi the grace yard
that's it betu wana mo ya da say hello good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mami Biama AKWAFO.
Awruba kwasi buatin.
Oh, Mami wa bring.
Yanko etio.
Uni mu di papa nyangupo nsraw. Ye papa yi wa ashimi credit nyina. By the way, even day. But incoming MP Botiano English among from Kwajo Kranche, aka about you say, on ya didn't call Botiano. Yangupo never you, Kwajo Kranche. Mami Biamai. Maximum American say, Dr. Asemfofro, Tobakaya, People's Forum, Kepkos, Amampaniku for time. Amampaniku for a president, or say, Obi American here, some Dr. Asemfofro could now Mampania Kufu do any Mampani Kufuani Muse. Oh, na makonta ndc ni ba konkura enti mi 20 for no for so mo nke bibi yie mo ko siesie o mampani ayi fie ya mo ka kira wo fa ne sakote no mo fa dan pia pump ade na de ayi Israel for ko konkura ebe ya sa mo ko siesie o mampani fie anka no nya mpraye ne asone kribolo na de ade we de mo fa dan pia kribolo pump shovel that dear and clanter and the asumubia bomb my moon and this is for empana asumubia bomb my moon and one mpana and on mampani amoko prapra keke pump a giant pia musuba nye what is the crop a day for odium or dear you buy a grow I don't know musuba kesa at the end I thought mampani mahama casatia as a yet mente so akasa so kasa ti abenya enye ade enye no so oka over president di ade enye no aka musuba nya kura mu ko pra mu mampani fi ajan bomb na yi na den samaria fo kura anya den mo oni nya menya adwuma maame
Beda Sipi, hello, good afternoon. Good afternoon, Bacho Dini baby Afrifi.
Hello, Katamandule 70. Aje omde de mbombo na ko lo lu mbombo ni bida bien me pasa we de da kuma be bia mete no o de ko ofan ye road ni so da kuma ofan road ni so ye transformer na shi eneni we kutu isi muni isi fo ne be na mo a no ma sa ko ya de sum 1 week a kutu isi ye po ma to po me so la se mo wa ya o si ukuye ena efa omo mo ko clean up exercise ne wa phone media de mekanso usu bempa no entu timpene phone ne nkasa na Ghana na enye ni dia yina yini mo usu bempa ase entu tipa pa we wa faga na bole bono ko wa dede na wa you two boss you don't have two boss debe che abanya ba wo etu je no nto ne bono mampani akufa do ba no this, I can't 1.5 years. I will be co-position. And 2 also been pardon. I will pro once or the year. Because when they're gonna, I will be anywhere. Only 2 boss or no one with 2 boss. My own, I just saw you be my two view. Now, what band will power? Never say, Upe yet the Upe. And to do and people for a friend and then Casa. Now, Uncle Fanto could be a Magana, only Uncle Ponjuma.
Beda Sipi, hello.
Hi.
Udeni baby Afrifi.
Me did the Aka, me Casatri Adabraka.
Yo, Aka, Mpacho ya radio no adum na mame, why? Yanko.
Pacho yo. Say chade. Pacho temeka.
Asa.
Dedi kai. Mami tia na mi fa kunya kesi sunchia, me mami ekrepi o kwa big manof. Ana kojo kwa chin this amount for batiano. Me mami. Ye best friend NDC4. Ene omampeni John Damani Mama. What be di akunya eko. Na obi se owusu bempa. Enye ono mfa na ye bema. Mo wa futua obi a ye state mine. Na o ye be prepare ufie enfie soni a okotena opposition. Enti ufie ho no a transport bi mu na ho fu ana asesei. Omo de enkante piao ejan ene eyi efanse emoba ani akontu ma ko fia onso be ba ne yentulu fo do ma ba no na esi yentulu fo se o ye state mine abi na won ko fo ne ye enya nti mon kan tro onso be ba de no ye o se demonstration ye kana ye demonstration ba do ba na fo ye demonstration ye ma mo pa ma mo ko nya tom na ebi no mo dan mo mo fo la si fo bi aso ye ndisi ni wo fo ye ndisi ni ye de ni na wo ba wo be kan no kre amma wo ne hu do man pa ya na ndisi fo ye enya na onso be mpa na wo ba bo de so bo onso be mpa de pone and why ye so ye demonstration eti e ba se kana fo amutie ndisi ade o man pa ni da don da mani mama na aka o so mo party ni de e to trust some party eti o wi no sa be bo amaba so enka mi ni e be kasa ko so o man pa ni da de o ye de wa anya de enye onka na wo keka obi nya tom ase Ghana for ma so o men na ku for the bedi ade ya Ghana for wo come baby.
Hey, what credit ya Sambara? I mean, I'm not Bagati. Credit na sa. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, madam.
Babajo Dini baby Afrifi.
Bracho Freme, Emmanuel Dudu, Samam.
Yo, Brian, my uncle.
If I say, Gana for Etias, say, what's the Mahamas then? One part in a way, one way is travel. And yes, I net you. Ghana for no MPP for no. Ehuna NDC for the Modomonia Mema, Munya Mema, a bedroom in Yamana Cosby, Munya Moti. And Mahama Kata says, Adna Munya. Then if I say to travel, Semna Mumudino. The Eka say, to travel, Sema, yen. The violence, the Tokoine, the bar, and a video or man. It is Adna Munya and Munya, and yes, Mahama, sorry, I no can go. We have no time for Utuno Bema. It is Adna, why and Munya, and yes, also I no can say any travel on the way to travel. Maybe I'm not Medasi. Now, me out also been Panorama, or by Kayapa Nanka, and I can't anotum, no good answer.
Sir, one you're not doing so abandoned to quack. Also, a any demonstration. Mosimo by general cleaning, or the day member, or the day Tisha, Namusumasa Samodia, Namodia, Musumo de Mudia said the same day. It is a Sabi being tired, I didn't know some yes, sir. Nipa say oba by any demonstration and amusam by general cleaning. It is okasa ebia date say on the 1st of December meba aba by general meba by demonstration. Modi an say 25th November kra mo beyi e dia ko 1st December, which means some bopo wo mutimu samo pese bibisie. Na sabe asono mienu eko a ehemfo na omo kire wo mo. It wey e asem sebe. And somewhere a guapono sono ye babe doso mu na sa clean up exercise ye beka ho asem na fe minority almost so akiki against government decision to give over 5 billion tax exemptions to 45 companies. Na companies na yes yetimi do mosu ko na ye hwe sa anya bia Ghanaian companies anasa ye foreign companies no ye behwe mampanyi akufo adon so akasa etia NDC fo a wo mo bose be mamra wo ye be mabra wakaseti ya saade ne se saade wei enna ye de beko 2024 elections no dia eni wo munyina yie pa enna akane mampanyi John Dramani Mahama so akaseti ya fixing the country for a wo mo ye wo madwen se wo mo eba betie twia ewo na so ya na se ne office ho no ono so akasa ede afa ho say NPP amayoko no wo muguso ya running mate ho sensem no eguso ebo ba wo mu ana ba akodi apie yes we na yede ne beko wo mu ana ba akodi apie yes we na yede ne beko yes nyame ya adom aseni awieye eni ebehunu chale NDC die kane mampanyi John Mahama wakeka ka bia ma ase yes sisi so ama nkrofo ede wo madwene didi a kire ye hunu nipa potia bia obeyi no esan se wo kire mu nipa obeyi no su ne ban a wo mu ani to wo behwe ho na ode apa no ne ho nsem betodwa na watchia etwemu no eti NPP running mate eno so yehwe nea Dr. Mahmoud Baumia ebepa no se onka ne ho na 2024 aba no wo mo enko we ene nsankaya hodo ena na wie yebobo ne nyina no ayeba besi ne koso yehwe ne mo ese Julius Nana Jima of the NPP obabeka ye ho ewa ha afei Richard Maniribe NDC wono so beba ena menua bema Sylvester Sapon Soprano CPP amayoko no mu ena ofire oye director of communications ono de wababeka me ho ewa ha Soprano
wow
mahai
ya obi ade
na ho te say obi ade de me obi ade pa
anya agro pa
special one
we nso so de mu adu heavy pa skako ye de gi ade ayi mame hwe krata na eda ho no kakra ye di nkomo yi
wadaro we okay
sure na oba ni ma te sen
adum
na Peace FM ni love Neat FM for mo atoma na e wo Ghana ha se bari oh say yeah wo Ghana yeah CPP for ni veranda boys ni ade they still hustling na
hustle na so obi Ghana obi a hustle
o mo nso sa
obi ahoso wa anya adwuma beden wadidi
o da bi nya adwuma na me
na adwuma ya na yade an
na say adwuma efo akra
hustle no wo ya adwuma won te fa konfa ansan she odam refam no wadi obi di abro se beje so far as you move from your home to go to the field to go and till the land
no ko ade till which land be na mo tell you there na oba hwi ni kronum na me hwe Alhaji Bawumia ni video bi na nani agi said no si ye no ho stage bi so no and there will be jobs work oh em say I'm mitimi hu say abu say storage na o kan no doors ntu na ma na obi asend obi almost and there be so almost o munya no brebe da be no kan ye na what me a place and too much but the American say who say o man timi am perform Dr. Bawumia went to me and perform it. Matisse was see be president and will be perform it. And na me busa say aden na do ahye no so ana.
Say we no say na do na president.
Okay.
And a vice president so no dia mampanyi president ne be kan say ye no. You be kire wo say ye no. No na wo ye.
Enti aden nti na president ka say wonko ye chairman of the economic management committee. Na Dr. Bawumia obe pe adwuma yi CV and a resume or the buy and watch also portray economist. Was you on why Bank of Ghana near the or London, you know, just on your brofo. Mr.
Lecture crowd or Rwanda or so.
Rwanda, a Paul Kagame. Oh, I see.
After I think 2012 election.
Because President Akufo-Addo cry, I remember so I can say
2008. So I don't know. Mean to me. I stand to be correct.
Sure. And I make say President Akufo-Addo no can say, oh, Dr. Bawumia is the smartest man in Ghana. Near the just the whole republic, 30 million no. Dr. Bawumia na not so yes smart. Of course.
According to anon.
Of course, it means Nanado yes smartest in the moment. There's Nanado na the smartest man. Nana Dr. Bawumia number second 2. So any of the economic management team no. Yeah, this share doctor Yinsa Alhaji.
I'm so economic messiah.
Thank you. Where do no? Why is Jesus Christ or economist? So I'm better. Na Dr. Bawumia betna honum 8 years muni ekwi. Who the economy na yoba? Me pese me kasa too loud, but who the ekos wo krom ha. Ah yentimi ntwa aduane nie. Sisi a nkran ha sei. Etie fo se mu tia ukoto wa acha no pa na unkura 25 to 30 cedis a. Untimi nto. Na no adakra Dr. Bawumia na mu vice president. Okoto obi edi fi ni 3 state cedis wo si eh. So na oba yeti krom ha say na Dr. Bawumia wo say oba ti o ti say wo ti ha say a wo say wo be page mo Peace FM just you bra wo certificate wo dey about si console ya wo ti eche wo ni mi use so na say wo dey yen fan say wo ya articulator wo si wo ko fa licenses about wo no articulator
ni and VIP
so wo VIP twi ni the VIP ne buo say titie brand new ye dey ahye won sa na wo de car na akwa hwiase ya fifa nipa so ama o mawu ebi nsi atwitwa so ho ka ba bia nke do be ko prison Dr. Bawumia so ye economist ye the economy ya hye wonsa economic management team na Dr. Bawumia to kokoasa saa ama enne wo ho de ato yen wo Ghana ha sei so ho wo ho the economy na ye intimi nto aduane nie so ho oh about 3 o'clock na medidi and then me need so far enya asresemo my calculation because ana about me did it train me did anwumre 8 na me dey akoda
it's a friend of papa nyina woni di
oh there be
friend o yem betwa kuru
oh yeah sure
esa wo di breakfast enya fast bi na wo ye dia breakfast dia woni
oh there enya fast me
it is wo di breakfast na bi lunch na woni ne sapa na woni dia fine
oh there be oba e ho nto esa koko bi esi me fie ena nansen wo se koko aba eti ana abre sa koko na so pa eti mahata koko beans na machi iti anopa no ana me toto ha na me hwane baako ho na me wi koko na nutritious no abonsu aguso ti e botre anti ewie show ya na me kwa akwes me nya konkunte bi adia but the point na me can say panyina oye vice president of Ghana Alhaji Dr. Bawumia ye the economy ni share nsa no wenti mi anya adwuma no ama say si ano Alhaji Dr. Bawumia vice president aso person o dodge economics no de koye IT sa dodge no ye mane dodge
yen na sa IT no so ebeka economics no ho na timi aboa because enne no obia ekono high tech obia ekono fence digitalization enti whether say economy or whether say whatever no esa ni nyina imagine etimi aboa enti bia obi wo a obetumi ahwe sikasem no so na ono nso so befa digital aspect na aboa ma yeyi a ni nyina say
yen kanisa
otogum hwegum ni nyina kokwa
David oba ntimi nya ne sa because all bepa adwuma no so ye economic messiah na afi untimi nya adwuma na afi na pese ode kwhye IT Dr. Bawumia ye ntwema no so hu ya adwene ye say ye beko door to door akai Ghana for video na ogina ho make so many wild promises one village one dam.
It was a very brilliant idea.
When I said ideas, they are brilliant, and another one was brilliant ideas.
Implementation was the problem.
I think said they knew they couldn't deliver, but they took Ghanaians for granted and told us stories. And I make us one more kind of stories, no.
Yeah, at least first 4 years, no. And now be see a free senior high school. So then no mobile more than near to Aquam, then you roll it out. Maybe a second yes, the one village, one dana, one district, one factory. Yeah, the beba. And on the beb because war vision, or a yibi when him say, Hannah me pese me druntino. First 4 years in ya, what the beb who to turn your money at the auntie. Second time, ye mawa, then you roll it out.
Yeah, about Dr. Bawumia, I can say wako China. I'm a China for so more money, $15 billion. But that's not all. That's not all. So I know what can. Now, from beside the Biaka $2 billion. Oh, Dr. Alhaji Bawumia, the Vice President of Ghana, has told Ghanaians so many wild stories.
Oh,
Ebiane to say one village, one dam, I went to me, or say one district, $1 million. Hey, Dr. Bawumia.
That's gonna buy.
And I can say,
who constituency?
Me wa yana ye madam no na or ye show or TikTok so no. Your madam no.
Domme
kwa
Jerry now.
Mrs. Adwa Safwa.
Jerry.
I found my Jerry campaign manager. Adwa Safwa dey turn on ballot box. I hope so be win it so that we can kick her out. Say obe win or primaries no. Na ko etimi aba me ya man small message bi. So say your man adwuma no na wagya adwuma no ho no makotena ho ne ye ka no ye was search there or TikTok so as we yi agongon. Anyway, into about social situation now, this is the character of the new patriotic party. On the one hand, you have the leadership not being who they said they were. So you have a situation whereby the vice president, you know, he said he was an economist, but now he's masquerading as an IT guru. So and then you have someone like Mrs. Adwa Safwa, MP for Domekwa Abenya, who doesn't really care about the constituency and the constituents because just I said your pen warrior na what we do a fell. So I said there cry and beat me a higher MPP stronghold the penny ye adwuma no kra me pa na me ye afi no what yes me no was so it was very 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 strange and very sad say obi a wo di amansan to say Domekwa Abenya anim na o treating like little small children I say with very little respect. So me afa say call parliament neko kan ya asema na she essentially abandoned Domekwa Abenya. Mrs. Adwa Safwa, she abandoned Domekwa Abenya. Afei so who said time ne ya so na immunities now or enjoy as parliamentarian or else afei wa begina ho no so opa acho me ma some lackadaisical apology bi. So anyway, me I keep on saying say New Patriotic Party for and a National Democratic Congress for no so we are twins. So abekronsa. Now Ghanaians and a choose one over the past 30 years or so. Now Ghana for any yene. So I say Kukromutine Ghana for their baby or mope and omudi team. But my fellow Ghanaians, are you sure say we want to go with someone like say Dr. Bawumia or his twin brother, the dead goat? That has been resurrected by Dr. Bawumia. That's another thing I may find it very amazing about Dr. Bawumia.
Why then?
Saying the performance is so terrible. Says some way, somehow, the dead goat has been resurrected by the performance.
Leave that into the hands of Ghanaians.
Oh, that's why we can't Ghana for him. Because last time you see people for a Ghana for Yeguso obanana mo kasa si before na beka yen wen. Na ho timo gyan den. Ya hoboa.
Pera mi bizasa hoboa ben no moya.
Hoboa ya yeguso.
Woni piri to me. Because yes onsa ono ba na onsa ba.
Oba edi ahoboa na opeso hu. You kasa ahoboa. Precisely what are you talking about?
Looking at me fan say party bit say NDC.
Sure.
Anye bi kra no omato aba ayi womo coordinators whatever won behwe bibia so kama e wo ground so. Afi omato aba ayi womo flag bearer. What you say? Members of parliament womo ba begina ni nyina omato aba na at least mo si bibia na ye hu womo.
Yeguso. We are facing challenges.
Mate,
but it doesn't mean we are not striving.
Okay. Julius, me makwaba. Julius Nana Jima NPP Amayukono Echiteni ya wababeka ye ho ewa ha. Mepe a quick comment on NDC womo clean up exercise and brandishing of machete ne hon krone ba mampanyi ekasa efa ho.
Yo mame I mean chia production team na mean chia eti for ni ahwefo mean chia me penny for the new patriotic party me chia president but he's the president of the republic and our vice president Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Yeah, obvious leader. And Mr. Nona Sylvester now all about our struggle say still no. I can understand them. Who say, mommy, say to whom much is given, much is expected. It's so almost no more Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Make sure your communicators as well from the national to the region. And your special people like the Makuma, so social media scholars and texters. Omo compliment age media omudi timichia yempeniphone na quick one on machetes ya elkosui let me say we enya dia eyewanwasa because the party NDC de yenim enyoma on my year Ghana entini sometimes ni some exhibit some of these symptoms na na eyomusu and Ghana for enim deda nanka bibia ye democracy etimi enyi akonanim na o man no said bibia etimi achechwe akodu na moye obi beka say government in waiting the biggest opposition party in the country entinonka o say mutimi provide an alternative ebema Ghana for be hu say clearly and indeed you are ready for power nanka party or you ready for power there mame look at what is happening international news in are picking it up clean up exercise kakramponi entino ankoso bibia say the leader of their party entimenim so mine is it the case as they say the bibia do no NDC 4% yin na yin too free on mine nko omonko ana ka omonko a himfo na be omo bebu omo Ghana for nipa na de chichire on mine moko clean up exercise clean up exercise de nka yenimu de nka ye prayer ene enyoma kakra bi washing powder ne depending on ade amokwago cleaning now what you contimba ne machetes in this Ghana 21st century Ghana as you say we are see akonenima you say you do the era of digitalization facilitate economic development as I say na ya adwin to artificial intelligence ni abedu we are say and we have gone back to 1950s back a crab before pre-independent ni egusu hunting and gathering and these are the things that the government in waiting person mo demonstrate fanche Ghana for maybe amayeja Ghana for na be show musu no mo hu omo ban any the person mo de che Ghana for no they be ayaka say we want to debate them on policy on issues and yet machetes atwetwe and this also upfront on our democracy, upfront on our peace and security, and we condemn it with all impunity. And idea was here so. And just as the president has declared, we idea babe say babe affecting next year elections, the security apparatus would hold them responsible. I think as responsible persons and as citizens of our country, and then you may be saying you say the minority will come on the table, share ideas, dialogue, debate, build superior arguments. Ghana for better masum. Send a beya MPP the policy be ba no muso mo share or margin differently. They can also even look at it. Now on my almost some the Amagana phone say yes, they almost can see never. Nekobani say force, violence, some of these things. And it happened right from their election or Tamomui or flag bearer and see University of Cape Coast. And this has been the symptoms, the character of the National Democratic Congress. It is any almost government in waiting. Say no more baby the actual Ghana for now. Maybe I'm a Ghana for so many the international media and so and senior Akano. I will say President Mahama by now no he should be answering some questions. I will say Otimi because I no allow it. Clean up Kakrim put now to me allow our supporters at the machetes all the constituencies nini na ubia show your machete show your weapon and yen tokwa. It's like football. I can't see an yen tokwa. Any crocodile machetes. Oh, mommy. She cantonment, former president. She cantonment to one of the most developed environments and as a communities I owe a minimum. Adobe Nkwan, a because of cantonment to be here crocodile machetes, some of the codo. Cantonment to Sylvester. So when we be a former president, Mahama Fiwa, if you are Mujina or no more demonstration, if a very beautiful, there be a pavement, fita. It's meaning clean up exercise and go a bit take this machetes, crocodile, me who be charged. A grant power. Me who be actually papa. You can count them in hundreds of thousands. As ye di bekuni pana, and ye di bekungana for. It's in my maybe I'm away there. Asem sebe my yin na.
Yeah, he said former president. So Abekasa after Mapenye Ekasa Tia and condemn me warning. Also at the Abano Kacha Mapenye said there are important things. There are crucial matters that need to be addressed.
Such as maybe our crucial matters here, such as no, they are about crucial matters, no, they are about yes.
I mean, the youth can't get places to stay. There's accommodation problem.
Yes.
So Nanado, His Excellency, Eka Sokoye Pukiasi project, but that is a road to nowhere.
Somebody was killed.
Yeah.
Somebody was killed. Why hasn't he spoken about it?
Oh. Maybe you can say 2 wrongs don't make a right. And debia ye be prese ye ko enima na say ye ba yechi. Insamusia minimpa megidi ye pan say ye security equipment apparatus structure infrastructure wo man nimu no. They take, omotinasio, omudueduemu, omoye investigations. Baby, I also mode to no mode ato. Then again, they also learn from it. Because share your police, your army, all the security, they are always learning. It is a BBC, na say investigation pokrano, intimi enwiepia. I believe say your security, they learn from it and they build up. Share your police force here and they have so many units. 24/7 Omobogana for home buying. It is a BB Crampo ACR. Does it justify the reason why a cleanup exercise kakra will fear Obe allow supporters to train these crocodile machetes in cantonment to one of the elite communities we have in the country.
Somebody has drew my attention to it's rather the NDC who has responded to President Akufo-Addo. Now, baby, I almost say, almost flag bearer office on long so I say plants baby so any one more roots and our rodents around. It is said a very woman penny now making Greater Accra the cleanest city, Etimia Bemuno. It almost so young which a fan dear at the Abuama, baby, I won't company that Etiano. I want to
maybe I'm at the buy ultimately in any new. The other message buy in any new. And then lawns, me find say green grass. yede kuntimba ne machetes na edo sen kan de mowa na yede do enti nka omu ko clean up exercise na nka omu di mowa akodo na yefe kama na south machetes ko ade dog grass kra na enyefe it onja is a message or they draw attention no nini na gina me say the characteristics of the NDC say Ghana for and we have to pay particular attention to it. A party our revolutionary days, I mean it's a fact. O share Ghana from penny for yes. And we be bring my NDC honya kono ma Ghana from be bring. Oh mami BIAMAH that's a fact. Ghana from penny for ye MAAME no more sebi omu the era of Jerry John Rawlings de Ghana for call ahunhia mo ne yaudie mo no these are the reasons why point blank obu obe catch your point blank say the NDC anasa at the time no the PNDC omu de Ghana for yaudie jijin for businesses if you understand why no business one say aji obi business we who say aji obi business investor mami we na wa be so eti maybe amanyoma bi say no yenina yen condemn I believe say they are very genuine NDC for yenafo bebre honoma they wouldn't support some of this action. A lot of them NDC for penifo bebre they will not support this action and same fata o manchichi na emfa na yede ko Ghana no emfa na yede ko wi ase kra no ye beje dasen wo wi ase ayewo mu ye ba be ye bi ni yakọ ama yedin aka ya make sure say ye boy yedin to say former president Nkrumah mo de ka abakosem a na yedin so ayeden aba bekemu bi eno ne ye up and down kakra ni bobo do de ade bia no ye de ye ho agimu enti to show this kind of violence asebi obi ampo enkosi obi anko bo omoye na machetes ni kontimba party amaba abemuda amuwo experience in governance as say krano Mosan pre to me say 2024 elections no you are one of the biggest opposition party amujina akonano and this is what you want to tell Ghanaians say you are the government in waiting the alternative adibia mo kase mo solutions mo de bebre Ghana for no and no na mo tre Ghana for ana ti ma maybe ama we de asem sebe ya famu abanso na person the president aka no as president of the republic no obe make sure say obebo Ghana ni bia ho by 2024 elections is going to be one of the most peaceful elections yenina ye be experience and that is what we are all praying for oyenene ya odi bia emba moja hwegu bia nso emba yenina ye beto ya ba kama e dia express your opinion eji di osefata say obedi yenim in the next phase of Ghana your life ya ye wo mu
all right yeah so akasa I think say no kwan so no oh he should I think say on that score no there for once in a very long time President Akufo-Addo has finally done something that is right. So finally, thank God. This is so important. So because the last thing young Ghanaians no youth no veranda boys any hustling boys and girls the last thing we want Nana Akufo-Addo to leave behind on his way out when he's going now Nana yeah money baya. The last thing we want to hear is that Nana Ejaye Omaya Ntokwa Esimu na be na MPP for ni NDC for ekura kotokuro main street no omu chase each other blood all over the place. We don't want to see that. So I think His Excellency the President has a responsibility to guarantee the safety and well-being of the Republic of Ghana. Nanka, Your Excellency Nana, with your yesrewada nanka wa hande ya ade amayen boko na wa ja amayen na che se wo ko London na Prince Charles wa ko num tia na ne mo lie so now about just by the way no because about you see I think I need to exhaust this track. The reality is the last thing Ghanaians want and indeed the international community wants is to see Ghana in flames. So not only from civil strife, from political actors like the New Patriotic Party and their twin brother, the NDC. Not only from those two political parties are or more private armies. Of course, you know, say NPP were private army. And a new National Democratic Congress and so private army. So, President Akufo-Addo, no, we say one thing about President Akufo-Addo that I always, will give to him is the fact that he's very experienced and highly exposed. So, sometimes I make cash on School of France near the other members of the European royal families. No, tea, ice cream behavior. No. But he's very experienced and he's well exposed. And and I think so here anymore what is likely to happen, considering the character of his own political party, hosting a private army. So anyone who behavior, for instance, what the New Patriotic Party did at Ayawaso Wagon. So and okay, say even Nana Akufo-Addo na mukrani party no, and say Nana Akufo-Addo be president no. Say the New Patriotic Party fortune AK-47. Ediko Chesi, General say chairman at the time Afoko. AKO. Oh my kawo mukikra. Afoko. Ufudi fam pumem. So Nana Akufo-Addo knows where he's coming from. Apart from that, no New Patriotic Party for Krano. Omo history no with National Liberation Movement ne. They know omo ye wo Kumasi Ashtown so they na eti MPP for ne etuotu ne a try to some man to trust them. Oh, there be some kasaba.
Yes, MPP from Kotri Machete.
But
and a MPP from Kohodi clean up exercise. Stay relevant to the issue.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the history of
the No. Yes, come on, I mean, the most Democratic Party.
Because of the behavior of New Patriotic Party, and especially
so the NDC for you subscribe to what they did.
No, you are putting words in my mouth.
I'm not putting because they are all signing in and suggesting MPP for any organizing cleanup exercise. Any actually continue banning Machete.
Julius, forgive me. About into the American say, baby, New Patriotic Party for no, or free from National Liberation Movement violence to the terrorism of Afoko at the party headquarters with using AK-47s to the Ayawaso Wagon debacle, where they terrorized and actually attacked a sitting MP. Oh my God! So, Afei, Nanado wonim baby omu free ba. Na afei no, o check baby dead goat, President Dead Goat. Oh, President John Mahama. And so no nkrofo ni free bana. PNDC for those days oba senka bianca ye hwe say watade ye fe onya iska wen na akoto watade. PNDC time no obi asika nyira yo. But President Rollins ne Dr. Obeda Samuamo ne Professor Kwame na ahoye mo ne Honorable Totobi Kwachi mo ene Mrs. Konedu Ajima Rollins PNDC members no so penny a call Ecomogi crack on General Nord Quenu those days PNDC for no unya sika wen adana wo fie efesa na na do say nka PNDC time an ko match na tum because na do fie toilet 6 and wo honum oh that's me tete oba me tete na and I have no I have intelligence
the tete yan fa
oba no bia wo ko fie ho
can some with facts and figures
I'm saying this enya me man ko ho but I know people who are close to the president.
Said that toilet
o ma said an kan ba no mo kire o se ebi wa ha e na say if you no na ho mpoma no toilet ntokwa no se ehu esu ase bedroom there so ati ase we have checked and we are confident the president has a lot of toilets in his house when most of us are open defecation they
ade also e see then after there also you have checked
you know
what's the matter okay what's the matter what's it no ko check here what ko ho no akọ kan
remember who was say ne what kan say na Akufo-Addo fro say soprano bra what as toilet bebre o me fie no bra na be kire me toilet do do wo fie ha no mo what would you do?
Well, I'll just go and count the toilets.
Present your facts. Only facts are just push it aside.
Sure. But I appreciate where you are coming from, but I'm actually telling you, say, what I'm saying is actually accurate. So I have intelligence. So and there are multiple toilets in the president's house. Whereas the vast majority of Ghanaians are still doing open defecation. But that's by the way. The American say PNDC for buy, President Rollins. Come on, check President Akufo-Addo atum because if you doors war. So and these are where the NDC is also coming from. So those days for bank watadi e shewi and I say be a store. Yes, here money woman a doors do. Unya ne we ni acho ni awro ho ntade nyina ni atwa wawa mumpre. This was the behavior of the PNDC people, the Dr. Obeda Samoa party, Dr. Professor Kwame Ahoyemo party. All they were there when all of these things were happening, and they have not condemned it to date that I know of. And to about the American say President Akufo-Addo or Kasa, it is so important because birds of a feather flock together. He knows what his party can do, and he knows what President Mahama's party can do. And between the two of them, if they come together, there will be no republic anymore. You see, and this is something that in Convention People's Party, we really don't want it. So when we say CPP, Convention People's Party, we don't have a private army. There's nobody in the CPP who has an AK-47. Nobody. And I want to say CPP for you and talk about the way you know. So be a chairman and leader. So there be, we are law-abiding citizens, and we have a certain extraordinary love for the republic. And to say President Akufo-Addo, in the twilight of his tenure, on his way out, as he exits and leaves Ghana for Ghanaians and he goes away, His Excellency the President, in person on his way out, leaving us alone, finally, at long last. Now, President to say, the Mahama mo ye NDC for ye and no kwan swan. Why are they say wakasasa? Because you see, I'm saying, say, we expect President Akufo-Addo to use all the mechanisms and resources of the Republic at his disposal to ensure that we have a peaceful, orderly election. So I say, because in 2025 January, Convention People's Party for your flag bearer, the sword, we don't want any confusion. So some people who lose election into no person create confusion.
Is a flag bearer?
We are about to nominate. Well, why are you laughing? We are not marching according to your tune. Ye flag bearer. We are not following Dr. Baumi. And I think you're MPP for. But I say, you are moving according to our own taste. By the way,
I just asked a harmless question.
Sure. I think it's harmless.
Yes.
By the way, I just wanted to remind you that in 1979,
right,
Sanana mostly CPP tradition in Kroma for 3 months to the election, you Dr. Hilary Man by and obey mu yidi obe sign a Victor Wusu ho ene a UNC so if I'm not mistaken Pawuli at that time no na UNC ati omo free Popular Front Party yes Oforiata Pawuli, and the secretary of UNC was a certain gentleman by the name of Nana Akufo-Addo, who happens to be president of Ghana today. Ono enema New Patriotic Party, PUP, more tradition, and me in 1979.
Are you saying this on a fact?
Nana Akufo-Addo was the secretary for the UNC.
Secretary, what has he got to do, say?
Hey, General Secretary.
Yes.
General Secretary,
why are you always going to attack personalities?
Personalities. Yes. The president is the author of our current predicament. No, I'm not attacking him. I'm simply pointing out the fact.
It's not acceptable.
Why not?
How can you say
the American said here, I attack the president, okay, because he's the one to be attacked. No, Tie, Yamano, everything you could need to run this country efficiently. Do you call this efficiency? Please come again, my dear Justice. Julius. Oh, Yatiabre. The person who is here to me to Adriani. Oh, maybe I'm going to say, 1 month. Tell me, need you and no. We are fast, Nana. So I say, Obama.
There was a soprano and Oten and Canon Julius and a Wahana more essay. Now, yen share a quick one on our issues, and then your day babato mwenim. Yede kan abobro ebi eswa na yen share minority one more minority kicks against government decision to give over 5 billion tax exemptions to 45 companies, meaning say 5.5 billion Ghana cedis tax exemptions to 45 companies. Nana me bisa say, Julius anya biasa 45 companies, Ghana companies, and I say, foreign companies.
Yo, my meme said, my menda was BIAMAH for these tax exemptions issues, you know. I may say in here Ghana for pan and pay my farm minority for statement, you know. Okay. The barbon, you know. And I'm share the attached list of companies I'm making reference to. Minim information I want me has say no minim say na say nina, but this is available information I had. Oh. And then I mean 24 companies. 24 companies, you know, local companies as well. All these local companies, you know, most of them they under 1D1F companies. And one say one district, one factory. One say MPP government, one of our flagship policy, one district, one factory. As we speak, Timi are creating in excess of about 160 plus factories and asset companies. Yakase. Yes, verifiable. Yes, verifiable.
One I'm creating
fine.
A private, public-private partnership.
A be public-private partnership. And in total, no, say a private crown a doors on crown. Say government as said here is to have that enabling environment. That's all, and that's the beauty of governance. And say any government because any creative factories in the crana are buying edin share ahodo egu akwemu etimi attract foreign companies edi about minimum and na etimi nso boost the impact and also the capacity of local companies and so ewo minimum na inkamame eya nanka asem they say some of our local companies need be omubenya certain incentives and also concessions from Abain, and that is the enabling environment. Abain didra, abain on kokwanso, abain on ton, the abain eyane se obejeje etuo, se timemufo ADE individuals, any businesses, factories, companies of also didra no munya enfaswa, no omama abain sikane kakra by way of taxes. Intinje no, enwano no. Mami Bama, we share a budget 2024 budget abain by Minister of Finance last week, 2 weeks or back in Kayana. In paragraph 120. Minister reported on trade, industry, and export. And also, Mr. Speaker, key operations under 1D1F, free zones, export promotion, strategic anchor industries, and business regulatory reforms have been prioritized under the growth strategy. Altogether, earnings from non-traditional exports are expected to increase to $4 billion, and that was in 2023. And then $4.8 billion in 2024 from the $3.51 billion in 2022. And 271 license-free zones companies are expected to increase earnings to $2.119 billion in 2024. This is a report on 1D1F, free zones, GIPC, and reporting on the trade, trade industry and export, and it's for a particular reason. Ghana yakaze ye import driven. It's import driven. So be how do we solve that? I will say ye import substitution. Import substitution as a channel say, and you my cra edeba on my no. Is it a way? And I say, would there be a way I bind to me? I facilitate say. Enka yebetimi empower public sector no na NDC for omoni omunya ndafofo no omon pe businesses asem omon pe say individual Ghana for be di omo ho edidwa o man nimu because they don't believe in say timemufo ebeyeye eti mame biama all the policy direction from 2023 budget the actual performance 2024 budget just after 2022 minister announced say Oye bibia ye friend no PCPEG eye post COVID-19 economic growth. Enti just after 2022 ayenya ye ho free mu kakra economy difficulties abaini komu abaina reported on send revenues e wofem. As a result abaina domestic debt exchange Ghana for abwa etimi etiti omumore mu ama aban no etimi ene IMF edin kita so ene IMF ama ye first payment liquidity support as we speak ye hwehwe nim for the second payment nini na beba so and mama BIAMAH follow the economy trajectory now. It should tell you say government is really walking the talk on promoting local businesses. Say you betimi aye manufacturing ewo mine because that is the way to go. You can say next year, the next phase of our life as Omaya Beto Abano, key amongst all policies, ebeye industrialization, creation of jobs. And it's as simple as that. CNTMI and committee and yet that deliberate effort say ye betimi abwa yentime move for Ghana for individuals are promoting innovation, entrepreneurship. Now some of our challenges are you facing or my name we can turn it into an economic venture. Now ama Ghana for any njuma edia ye solve problems we are going nowhere. It's all initiatives are abina announcing in is to make sure say we are boosting local production. Anyway, it was one of the objectives of the 2023 budget, and that is what the government is pursuing. Minister Echo Parliament just about 2 weeks ago presented 2024 budget, and all they share about trade, about industry and export. Edi ababetuja. Extra yen sika ye betimi enya free trade, export and industry. See yetimi pursue this agenda, and as we speak. 1D1F and any kana yenu montias and say abane buy no not government policy direction was to move from the usual and I said the traditional taxation and encourage production. That was what the game changer. That was the way to go. Fine, we have had some challenges with implementation. I mean, to be fair to the discussion, but the intent and purpose, the spirit behind the policy, was suggesting say it was take the economic destiny of this country into our own hands. It is all these industries, and as a specific companies, Oma Aqua Minister Honomo, ACK the benefit of tax incentives and as a concessions. Senior Beya, that idea, and as I say, minister after COVID, one of the key indicator minister pursue say obey fiscal consolidation. Fiscal consolidation is a buying home behind was because obviously not your budget deficit was true. Revenue no soon to mean the ember ye public debt in sense. It never said minister Jinan and also not all these indicators or reverse public debt. Or reverse public debt, budget deficit, and so no address it budget deficit. Utimi etimi meet this target ewipe. Mame, ohombe in hand osikasemu. Ohin hand osikasemu. The benefits are the ordinary Ghanaian. Ye mame for mu jomu ton ejine wiaso ton adie. Jomu benyane say inflation ebeba form. Inflation eba from na ye CD dollar exchange rate ni volatility ya debia na ekoso and also etimi ehon yeden na eboa edwedifo eboa timemufo especially manufacturers omo mutimi produce wo man because ye ntimi anteki that deliberate policy na ye ntimi enko yenim se ne other countries yeden enko yen and as we speak some countries omaye and omaye ni ye fourth industrial revolution no ebi mu de oma tra ho no mokra Ghana afansa na yesima yegusua eko ho eti minority statement omode buy mame on say o hwe ye various tax laws na ye tax laws ni nyina was certain exemption clause and also exemption schedules. For instance, offer your income tax act na exemptions no ye say there are certain individuals and also businesses bi wo hodoma omuntua tax law no imrana more certain form of free holidays and as a tax concessions, tax holidays. Omutimi edidi omejuma. Mame, you call the Free Zones Act. Free Zones so boa certain companies oma set up buying designating those areas as free zones. Into your quarter, we have the Free Zones Enclave. Those companies nini companies bia omutimi ko set up with the idea say omubetimi aiden promote export omo products omo commodities omo producing in it's meant for exportation about 70%. It's all this in shesheni certain clauses act sections bia e what your tax laws no your core value added tax e won a special schedule bia and also exemptions on certain products and commodities and services bia ye render or money more and also no exempt. Eti ye bi kan yi Ghana for di hun komo twetwe hun komo including the minorities tax exemptions are ewo oman ni mu no aye bebre enti eba ne sa per revenue na e say timi ba state no entimi emba ye kan ya na aban the tax exemptions act eno na ba harmonize all these exemptions are ewo the various tax laws are ewo oman ni mu enti enhyehyɛ ya akoso no aban so policy was say ni bibi a yedu no was yetimi promote local production yetimi partner with the private sector na certain products bi a onze mame as we speak import restriction bill ka or parliament and also kra no ye twe na basa enestre and this its intent and purpose no is to promote local production it maintias say eneno when this same minority almost support say this tax exemptions and then these industries aqua parliament and mame BIAMAH aban the information aqua parliament the duty of parliamentarians is to scrutinize the document, vet it and validate it and find politics by virtue of say minority now when you access to information and I say data no you are supposed to sit down with the select committee, go through all the sections line by line and ask the relevant questions. Yen fan ban bonting and be making sure say show statement say abino emma exemptions are a corruption. Say abino boa this factory so factories ni mebubo omudin na se mebubo omudin and no areas or me foreigners in pa na say me mufua say a organized crime and this is
maybe did they assign any reason to almost say a organized
crime? They didn't pay their press statement. They didn't. It is not so. Maybe Sylvester, it is not so. These companies has got nothing to do with the president and has got nothing to do with, it's just Ghana for. I mean, MAAME BIAMAH, Oshe Everpark Limited, Everpark, we knew Everpark long time ago. Okay. So, these are the things
B5 Plus Limited, Omokaho, Amponsa, Ifa Pharmaceuticals Limited, Omokaho, Agro How Company, Ghana Company Limited, Agro How Omoye, Agro a 1D1F, Beef, Calf Foods and Ghana Limited, by OA and J Pharmaceuticals Limited, Canadian Commercial Corporation, CEMAF. That's CEMAF. Omo Cement Dia Free Ghana Limited.
CEMAF cement.
That's one repeat.
Okay, nice. A bad double. We omo information on the Bible.
CK Engineering and Construction Limited, Continental Blue Investment Ghana Limited. Eco Poly Industries Limited, Emperor Foods and Beverages Limited, EPAC Flexible Packaging Ghana Limited, Everpark Limited, Everpure Holdings. Everpark near you only the same company. Everpark near day. Omo tissue this animal.
That's right, yes.
Okay, and Everpure omo ensure. I don't know. Ferro Fabric Limited. Fu what the China company? Fu Kai Company Limited. Yes. Golden Africa Consumer Products. Golden Africa Soap Industries Ghana Limited. Golden Latest Products Limited. Happy Sunshine Company Limited. Hida Ghana Ceramics Company Limited. Urban Company Limited. Leslie Company Limited. Wow. So yes. How are they able to choose these companies?
It's in Yebebusa minority leaders. So to me, by
these companies a big
yes, per almost we say say and America say information called parliament. Duty of parliamentarians is to sit down, scrutinize the document. Also, as we see, say in their press statement, also about 45 companies. But the attached schedule they count for the list of the companies. It's about 24. And who total the amount of tax a liability or no na and do the so-called 5 billion omo kan wa asem.
Okay, higher 91 million.
Yes, that is in
and
total.
72,000.
Yes.
368.
Yes.
0.21.
Yes.
For 24
for
companies.
24 companies.
But 24 companies, I 24. I'm saying because cement they are free Ghana Limited is the same as SEMA.
Yes.
And the quantum of money is the same. No mako two. It is all calculated now. Which means that it will be less than 91.
Yes.
Million.
So that should even tell you the rush.
So are you saying the schedule is wrong?
Yeah, but per the analysis in the schedule.
No. I mean, are you saying that the document from Parliament is not accurate?
This is from the minority. This is
from what
yes,
I know.
What word? Yes, they are in Parliament, but this is the document they have brought out.
Soprano. From what I know, no, SEMAF is Cement Dia Free.
Sure.
Ghana Limited.
Sure.
And now we're normal separate.
And a second one here.
A SEMAF and a Cement Dia Free Ghana Limited.
And it's amount near the same.
The same
it's
amount.
It's giving me typo error.
Why would you assume say a typo
error? I'm just saying it's an assumption.
So you're not sure?
Yeah, of course, I mean, when you're on documents.
I know the document.
Let me when you're minority document.
It's your body. I'm partially say.
But me concluding a brief.
Briefly, you know, I'm just saying it's a minority for document. So I want to ask you, don't assume it's wrong.
I'm not assuming.
These are important parliamentarians.
Okay. Cement Dia Free Ghana Limited is the same as SEMAF Cement. Because you know woman na ye adwuma.
Matthias here. But the head will be a company too. Ghana near one. Young people for the run the government.
Mame Lande. It's Mame. These are those companies are Aqua Parliament. But Mame BIAMAH.
Yes.
Abaye no nye minister enye hwumbumbre bia so. Oko the New Tax Exemptions Act 2022 Act 1083. Or say there is a responsibility a minister na in section 5 or say Section 5, subsection 1, clause A, the minister shall seek executive approval for an exemption and submit a request for the exemption to Parliament. And that is what the minister has done. The minister for or executive approval no call Parliament minority for embe country Ghana for. Then again in subsection 2, clause A, or say, hold on. I say the minister shall on receipt of a request for an exemption.
Where you made the NDC rep about.
Oh yes,
have more info on that.
Assess the request for the exemption, and in clause B, ensure that the exemption is consistent with the economic management priorities of government and the general policy of the government on exemptions. Eti ye economic policy ni na ne say ni titi we mu ni say we are pursuing a local production policy. We want to solve or address the issue of importation. There are certain products minister AKWAFO did that in 2023 budget yebesimu fruit juice, ceramic tiles, rice, poultry. Nyoma ye consumer mami yebetimi aye wo mani mu the adverse effect the bre economy no ma inflation koso na ye cedi no emu eye week no nini na ye direction say no ya pursue the agenda of stabilizing the economy, pursuing fiscal consolidation ye ho ben han osika say mo no na yetimi nya sanfaso ni we are addressing and channeling all this savings buying no ediama Ghana for public debt. So as we speak, public debt drop it down drastically. Ye hope say by next year no ye betimi about 50% of our nominal GDP. And Mame BIAMAH, this is what the minister has done. Minister ne crime na ne say or the document or the information Aqua Parliamentar or pursue local production. They be a can was them say send your money ye or money more ni enjoy imports no. Now feeling parliamentarians better na say I share the merit in the exemptions no. Say all these companies or they attach no. Do you deserve it? The amano, do you deserve it? Farmer no. and no because minister at the request in the parliament no on fair exemptions in farmer those companies on one for any paying boom brand so as a parliamentarian send the exemptions act in nature and I was set me de ebremo se minya executive approval mediaba mun hwehwe mu mun duedue mu na mu make sure say companies o mu deserve say exemptions ya de more with anticipation say omo beye ejuma anase omo set up omo factories e wo oman ni mu a omo di bi enjuma omo be fine bebu no ejuma na afi ni so metimi e bi omo capacity e de economic benefits e be breti memu for any Ghana for no eno any chrono boss say no o grant exemptions kwa yes wa chrono this is really an unfair statement ye impress on the minority say omo mbra biem sa exemptions na akwa parliament no asem papa boa businesses public private venture as say no that is the way to go. Industrialization driver yaka ana one of our flagship minister are reported in paragraph 120 of the 2024 budget e de infaso bebre earnings be accrue misanya kwana me babiema. This particular exemptions no was under Ghana Investment Promotion Council. The entire enocratitude no e fa almost so
yes. Criteria be na mo hwe won select these companies.
Yes, these are all companies applied through Ghana Investment Promotion Council for so. Omombra ne wa hanu say ye be share the grounds for granting exemptions emma some of these companies.
Me that say Manrebe
Mamiama
Akwaba
Mami Soja
Bibi abokode
Mami awonfe
Bibi abokode
Boko center for
Manrebe we am no be basa
we Mami Soja Soja ni dia
mamu Akwaba wie me din di soja nso me nye soprano
ana se Mami kama se me
soprano be bansa no
na
maybe it's over metie Julius nanko ko TV so anka medum no saa na honorable Ken Oforiatta so begina ho na he goes on and on and on and he always lands us in a financial ditch just like his his follower Julius out here baking kind and a schedule we the bottom line they say nanka Ghana for pa hoto so now I'm going to address everything you said into the tea so nyanke a person ki etimi to aduane die nanke etimi to light bill na rent etimi to that's the bottom line. It's not about then schedule and free zones but anyway we'll get to all of that. So about our problems here Julius say NPP budget in the special address so these problems have existed so before the new Patriotic Party assumed office in 2017 with all kinds of wild promises from the flag bearer at the time, now President Nana Akufo-Addo. Wild promises. So fantastic promises to Ghanaians. Our money mean deliver. And now no Julius Abetnaha and he thinks Kasabi Bright to cover the fact say Ghana for ye near Jumaye. The fact said that bonting. The fact say ye need toilet to cry with ye fear because so the fact say area yentimin kwedman national health insurance is near broke. So it's the problems now na modi a lot of words it is too little too late and we are just tired of the excuses MPP for Ebeka so inflation omodi 50% inflation. They talk about import substitution which is a great idea. So I'm saying ki bit me industrialize wo kroma say near be factories no. However, I want to draw Ghanaians' attention to the MPP for Julius say more industrialization driveway. No, I think it will come up against the Economic Partnership Agreement, which was signed by President John Mahama with the European Union. Encourage the development of industry in Europe at the expense of development in countries like say Ghana. So I'm sure a lot of laws, but it did not factor in the Economic Partnership Agreement that President Mahama any signed with the Europeans, which handicaps Ghana from industrializing. And it is law. It's so now, having said that, na me pese me kase mostly import substitution. So I say into oba say an waka and 24 companies say be more exemption. Me so as an ordinary Ghanaian no me support the position of the National Democratic Congress minority in Parliament. Their suspicion about New Patriotic Party. So who are these 24 or 48 people that they are talking about? 45 people, no? Because companies, no. Me about 24. About 24. About 24. Me can 45.
And the minority wanted to buy 24. The papers, I think they brought 45.
Sure. Ebi the aka and I'm quite sober. So, but the me person me chair say, before we go and start this whole new story, this whole new story by the Minister of Finance, that we are coming to start some new industries and some new companies to address the issue of import cost, by way of import substitution. Before we go and start listening to a new set of stories from the Minister of Finance, we want to know what happened to the 1D, 1F precisely. So we need to have a forensic audit of the activities. Because Moji Sika be brave Ghana for some of the Kwako project. But say, I'm brushing under the carpet. I say, oh, yeah, 1D, 1F, no, Mark can intend them see a copy before so. And I see people catch a derby. I was here, audit answer. So, a Jumana Muya and Mume Yi and Mume Chile Sika Yedimamo. Let's talk about planting for food and jobs. He's talking about import substitution. Import, you can find those. Any JNA free Burkina Faso. Banchi, you can find free Côte d'Ivoire. So I say, you can free other countries. Meanwhile, Ghana, we are about 20% water, fresh water. You need any issues with cultivation of crops here. So, what happened to the 1D, 1F? And isn't somebody going to be held responsible? We gave you billions of cedis, billions of dollars, in fact, for this exercise. Now then, I'm moving here, Hamasa. I feel in talks to cry and Timmy Kroma, Jene, Baku 2 cedis. Jene Fiebi. So why are you not letting us address the fact that your 1D, 1F has been a flop, and planting for food and jobs has been a massive flop? Not only that, even the president himself was complaining last time about the state-owned industries. You guys are the people who said you have the men. I feel you are minus shamons. 8 years. We have the men. What is happening? Can you tell us how come the men are not able to perform? I will see a timid Sankomo Julius. And Sana, you say, Yakwako be a new factory. Vice President Baumia, Oka say, obey 1 district, 1 warehouse. Nanki a year Dianina, Yadiakogum, na Yahua here by Yabiadi. What is happening to that 1 warehouse, 1 district? And now I'm looking at your refi. They say Vice President Baumia, he's not talking about that again, but we are not going to let him escape. Yamani Ndoji and that, yeah, Vice President Baby Obefebia, Yajinahoya Sonu Podia. So now, apart from that, say an import substitution now, what can one say? Some baby be new factories in the twilight of your tenure. That's some better.
Just get the.
You're saying you are going to industrialize. But if you are going to industrialize,
companies are
we never solve a problem.
Oh, it means you can't about tax exemption. So you have to focus on the issue.
I'm focusing on the issue.
So these companies, new companies are existing companies already now they are operating.
Okay.
And under the 1D, 1F, and through the Ghana Investment Promotion Council, certain companies can apply for tax exemption. And I'm actually say all your tax laws now, there are certain exemptions I say people are taking advantage of it.
The core parliament.
Yes, it was the core parliament on the back of the tax exemptions are they buy and you say the company company be apply for exemptions. I will say
when you come back you can better clarify. But the fact of the matter is that nobody trusts you, especially the Minister of Finance. There's nobody in this country who trusts him except the president. So as the president now make a promise to Ghanaians. So and then the president he just broke his own word. He couldn't keep his word. President of Ghana, His Excellency, he couldn't keep his word. It suddenly broke my heart that the president of Ghana could not keep his word. Christ me. But I know nine channel. So and he says, who say, Munya trustworthy, into Mokasama yen because you came with stories. Says, yeah, by Ukra budget, 2024 budget, almost in Kunim budget. Sana 2017, was he at the Asumdue budget as a bibino or the chassis? So I say more slogans. So sound and fury signifying nothing. And I'm mean deliver. And there be a na yekoka. Na famous Ukraine for na aye. President Putin and aye. So the reason why nobody believes you is because when you say it, you don't deliver. When the president makes a promise, he doesn't keep it. When he gives his word to the Ghanaian people, he breaks it. President Akufo-Addo. So we have no faith in the president and his administration, and we are really looking forward to January 2025 when we will see him off and usher in Obama Nushan finally. So finally, no. I'm also saying, say, Obama say new patriotic party for Moba. Almost say the private sector is the engine of growth. And now you pass your boy a private sector. Then you say no private sector no more boa omo. Yeah, one more factory dada. Ever pack. And I was saying boa no. Oh no one be dada o. And I win him. A B25 for me iron ross. They are about the richest company in Ghana. And I'm saying boa omo. But what about the ordinary youth? Now more person will make it breakthrough. I'll take Ghanaians to Kenya. President Ruto. Oba was setting up Hustlers Fund. So I say it cannot only be about family and friends who own big companies. Hustlers Fund. That's what Ruto has done. Kenya, they boy street boys. Your mama kakra. You who say youth, who say who can come one. You me so mukakra. Ya nkwa nkwasisa a sikafo dadanomo. And yes, I for almost so the leap is for seriously poor people. That's no. You're the average Ghanaian. Okay, Mama Nusi. Julius Mama Nusi. Hustler, SS, double S, not STL. Okay, hustler. Now, by the way, Obanti Manusi, no. Now me can say, in a capitalist environment, you need capital to practice capitalism. So we need sika, untimin kosi factory. So you need capital to practice capitalism. Now, unfortunately, because of poor governance over the past 30 years especially, so between the New Patriotic Party and National Democratic Congress, this country is broke. I think all of us agree with that. So there's no capital. And in the end, Convention People's Party, for what we are saying, say, because the population does not have the capital and they have no technology or they do not have the technology, and the know-how, the knowledge, administrative capacity to be able to establish the kinds of industries and companies that will take Ghana from its current sad economic state imposed upon us by President Akufo-Addo. Yes, CPP, we want to put the government as in the lead. Not only the government, but the government in the lead. So, Nanka government, I inject capital. The productive arms of the in the economy. So I say na yetimi build big solid industries capitalized adequately so that our people can go and work there and acquire skills. So that now that they have acquired skills and know-how and they have the technological know-how as well, then government can assist them with capital. To say the New Patriotic Party for more factory dadano. So it's a situation in one say instead of helping already rich people, so I say, to become even richer. And then when they get their monies, they even export the monies outside. We are appealing to the Ghanaian electorate to say, consider the CPP manifesto and what the CPP is saying. Now, Ghana for baby can say, oh, the Emma Abaya. So, Abaya Jumano, Ghana for Sumuye. So, I disagree with that. Maybe that was happening in the past, but with the processes in place today, so as when you have adequate supervision and enforcement, protocols in place, we should be able to solve that problem. So we are sure see use technology, any education, and I'm talking
people here no technology
any education American patriotic education. Now, one thing, and I'm not talking about New Patriotic Party. Okay. One thing about the New Patriotic Party. Now, I'm talking about the New Patriotic Party. One thing about the New Patriotic Party, any or more capitalism, is the focus on the individual. Manusia, is the focus on the individual. And to New Patriotic Party for so here na doa. Oba en nkofo enyeska. Kofo kakra and a fact. So me check me area nkofo 3 enyeska or so on person 20 nkofo kakra enyeska. But you see people from your strategy, no, masses, no, and because they will have work and happiness.
Medasipi soprano na hotel and kana. Manrebe.
Mami Soja.
I think Pacho Bremu Mami. Yeah. Kasa about minority cakes against government decision to give over 5 billion Ghana cedis tax exemptions to 45 companies. Mostly 45 companies, but more press release in the mono. I don't know, sir, when your copies in your idea, I'm 24 ne buy. 24 no crime, who back could be a minor double. The wages which.
Mami Soja.
That's what the one.
Because on say 24-hour economy policy document na heady bano. I mean to make a home bin we are going around to make
and
sure.
And then batch of no one doing to work and now yen kasaba 24-hour economy. Today we are not going to talk about 24-hour economy. Right? You say a policy amodeba. Right now, no, you are kicking against government giving tax exemptions amounting to over 5 billion cedis to 45 companies. And no, I'm a person who representing minority, who representing.
You are right. We are very right. You are very right. Who representing my name because of the policy now. Yeah, the bano. Now, so up and down. Me because of the youth wing now. Yeah, consultation now. The policy blueprint in the band.
Okay.
Now I have very busy throughout yesterday.
The next time I back 24 hours now, please, I'll make sure say. Yes. Come on board to throw more light on it.
Oh, now 1 minute did I say?
Oh, Richie, and 24-hour economy. Almost the companies on board, you know, on more tax exemption.
No, we are talking about tax exemption incentive. Yes. There's a difference between tax incentive and tax exemption.
What is the difference? No. What is the difference?
There's a difference between tax incentive. Ma'am,
yes.
But before me draw, I think this topic and link it into this 24-hour economic issue. Now 24-hour economy means say Juma benya Jumaye, Soprano benya biaye. Mami so benya biaye. Kwete benya biaye. Ebenya with the security. Yes. Now obia benya Jumaye.
Difference between what tax incentive and tax exemption.
So ma'am so before me kata say mami chair what if and chair for so now me chair the good people of contest constituency. Now me impose say mami so you say me krom kefi that so.
Okay,
yes. Now, let me set this record right. Set and tell me bano. Soprano, or CPP ni conversing people's party.
Yes.
In fact, on just ordinary. He is a senior member of the party. Or moon friend for next meetings. Now, only the party no crano problem. Now, mami say, okay, crano say in as much as more problem crano. Now, or no so crano can answer. But let me set this record right. Say. Obetra I can last minute ya pa ye ka because of the Nana Danko AKWAFO Nana driver adoga guy o ka ne ho ayi eba sa NDC e kwaya clean up exercise asem by but o kan ha say your friend say super tie who be board say ayi your friend say the dead go syndrome how bo man pele John Dramani mama din mpacho any diem me say enche bia ba ya NDC ni na
I soprano see here.
Yes. No, enche bia ba ya NDC. But it's unfortunate to make that comment. It's uncommunicable.
Hey.
Yeah, sir, over cast asem no. It is parapolitical.
Hey.
So over cast asem say.
Richard.
Yeah.
Who said that's like see
Yes, I'm say over cast say the
top onko. Manage incentives anyway.
Mama. And to make an no say mess menu opinion. Say sebi. Yeah, ni for or we wan kata ni madwuma o mampene John Dramani mama ye na baba ye aka ho biom. Anti eya some kasa bia obe use on him no. Mpacho eya na odi ni diem dia ka ho. Because mampene anya bia kra no. Waye bi. And then you are an agriculturalist. You are an agriculture ambassador. You know in agric sector. O mampene baba ye cashew board. When him say baby I will call you call dawa will call our area ho nyina no. And there we are agriculture no. What say o mampene baba ye bi. Nte anya butre.
Youth in agriculture.
I was a national coordinator for youth employment, youth agriculture. Yes, to be honest. So I can give you that. And in Pacho, yeah. ni asema mampani dada a obano na na dan kwa akofo de kokan ye aba say NDC e wo clean up esa wo say mampani John Dramani Mama inside let me use the word riot ahead of the elections and here there we say clean up esa kwa ye kwa clean up esa wo say enye na obi a wokoma yarek obi a wakun kaka obi a wakum Amina obi a nde safura dam no chere obi and at 2020 elections a man for one was only few regretted death happened occurred. Now they are cleaning until see discussion to them. And they say quiet cleaning. And just ask them. You are? I ask them. Yeah, gentlemen. Until see what is kind of to them. Now see you are taking upon ourselves to do cleaning. After that you say we are inciting what? Minimum say soprano why you mischief in South Africa time now. Omodi AK-47 de ba krom ha and omo shoot na them were rebel leader no kra no yanka wasam. So we want to play the crom. The end is stand. Mama yanka asam. Yempo bia ibekum. Anytime omampani John Dramani Mahama the office there no e ba ko cleaning.
Na mo enu amko cleaning.
You go ba ko cleaning. We will clean and clean
kind mob any long brooms in hwan no. Brantain no.
Mama see sometimes you know we school together, we live together. You are my friend. We are my friend.
I did not school with you. Manoribe. I did not school with you.
We are attending the same university. Me no go the same university.
Me school way back.
We are attending the same university.
Me school way back.
Me say we are attending the same university. Me boy. Mama mama. We are attending the same university. Mama. Yes.
Hey.
No. We are attending the same university. What's it? Yes.
Maybe sound say. Sound continue man in ye clean. After at the end of the day, no. Was there any cleaning?
It's sometimes more express yeah. Because we have been a consultant to education company. Who needs Zumla Jumapa? Mama, who needs Zumla Jumapa? Zumla, they normally cleaning. One of the leading sanitation company of Kruma, they normally cleaning. In Contimana, they call it. I want to say, Yakumo. No, see, Mamma, I are there minimum. So, would you on my penny that the office or when is it any former only Bamia Fia Boshe? When is our son Hopa? Any France embassy ho? Educo, the bank hospital. No, sure, no, master, or what a fee get a honor before we do Acha law complex honor. If you go, oh, bonka gang. And you can listen. See, malaria go in a honor. Mamma, a month for do malaria. And yet, cleaning they will continue to do. Mamma, I can't say that's exemption as some okay. Eddie Barber drew near Uniamo, Eka, me, I mean, so much money and you. Mamma, 5.5 billion tax exemption. Your IMF for 3 billion. What's the logic in this? Mamma, they can't say, we are about time. Dano bano ko school kana okwaya obuso mapon school da ni ho dano me see ayi madam for your hospital order am say hospital pon there's no drone ho and we are saying that with the 24 shift our economy we are going to build a robust economy that will build tax exemptions tax incentives and obika say what is the difference between tax exemption and tax incentives
Amusimu DB bay. Obi susu DB ba. Nipa no de ne de ne band de nye. Momo de ne ne ye.
Mama your point there ye say. Tax exemption now modiba 5.5 billion. By
ya. And one company.
Almost 24 almost
almost state is 45 companies. Actually, mo price release was say am ye no 24. Make I say 23 kra.
Ne so far ne nya no. The Minister of Trade and Industry. Or say, or put a ban of the importation of rice. My dear, coke, all those consumable. Yes, it is a good idea. Yes, it's a laudable idea. But can say, how do you enrich local content? before you put in. Me can say sugar. Good you ban sugar importation, but my friend say Commander Sugar Factory is collapsed. It is good that you reduce you ban importation on rice, but yet Avema rice is collapsed. What? And then me can say if you are able to build the local content, we invest into local production of goods and services there. Then you can share Nigeria. Mamiama, what is Nigeria start here? Omudi ban 82 rice, you know. What did they do? They started with road. Woody and Modi back with road. Then they banned it. And how before they started with air and ship. So we have to serve a progressive purpose of it. And to my John Dramani remember said we did it for our economy now. We are going to run 24 and do more productivity, more production. Now, Eba, there will be enough. There will be enough for us to consume. Mamiama, and in the course we did. I made it. So almost say one district, one factory now. More tax exemption. Mamiama, 13 months to leave power. You promise us Uber no. Uber will move it to production to what? Move it to production to taxation. It's been how many months for goodness sake? 13 months to leave power. Mamiama.
Maybe misinformation.
2016 Mobano, according to the vice president, that then running mate, or say they are going to move the economy from taxation
to production. Production. We are moving from production to taxation.
Oh, sorry, if I said that, sorry. Yeah. It is taxation to production. Okay. I'm not production. I also mean yes. And the near question we are thinking, say, baby, we all know the situation in the country today. Mamiama, okay. State housing company. Man penny di emana kunta $11 million tax exemption. At the time now, my 11 million. Your bank, your parliament, you pay approve $6 million. Meanwhile, we're granting 11 million for state housing corporation for man penny. Na kunta, my beautiful Rebecca, Ninya. Mamiama, so this is where we are. And today I can say it tax exemption crown and call your crown the more local company, not companies buying here. Companies are the you could see that when you know a 419. When you know idea on man penini or man penina the trade need the MPP government or they will give authority to the people and they use their revenue to incline. Mamiama, when you say Oko GRS the icons. There are so many foreign companies and they declare their goods without paying. Maybe what? You know it. You know it yourself. Sometimes the other time with other platform you made an allegation about that and you were very worried about that. You were worried about that. And then some AKWAFO, they are in this country taken from free zone entries and move away from the country. How much do you consume on that? And the idea, the minority, the NDC, I can make it one percent. I idea yam peneso. So obia de negus ba krom ha because ye peskai ada ya man no. O man pena kasa dia to say koma ye hye, koma nye. Na o man pena John Dramani na ba na oba restructure the economy. He said be clear. So it's the next NDC that will come and restructure the economy. But yam penny emma that's kind in anko waste 5.5 billion. Mamya, why do you go to IMF for 3 billion and go for 5.5 billion just for waste? And the idea we are praying and hoping. Say, in as much as we are disappointed in government, in as much as no man go, the next NDC and the new NDC, which I'm playing John Dramani Mahama all by there will be a robust economy, there will be a speed of economy, and the 24-hour economy now here by there. What is it?
Before you continue, Misa has said, how is the NDC going to work things out? Now, more creative tax incentives, BIAMAH companies.
Mambiama, can say. Yeah, but 24-hour economy. Now, Mambiama, minimum say here or about Obi or Pure Water Company be and now be also our need from credit, need for credit company. We are going to run 24/7. I don't know me common man for say average need for a debut. What? Don't me tell until we are going to run 24/7. Until running 24/7, no. We are going to make sure say Obi Bia obey Juma. In the 3-shift economy, 24 economy is basically on 3-shift economy. And here starting now, we are Joeria, we are a numerator and a joa. Now, company now, we going to make sure that we reduce the electricity tariff amount. We reduce water tariff amount. We reduce security for you because that okay.
Reduce and not increase.
No, we reduce
security.
No, yeah. No, the security will increase security visibility. But we are talking about incentives, Sure. Now say until UTV. Now amount for United Showbiz. MPP4, every ballroom ho, every bunko, and I'm bunko for. But the reputation, the credibility of Despite, amount to me. And in this case, someone 24-hour economy, there will be visibility of security. And he will pure the company, no. In conform and I don't know. You have more smart meters. And this smart meter is going to be a reduced price of utility. Water bill will be reduced.
How is it going to be done? Because the same company, and the branch are now different. It's the same company. Meters and the high number used for the day, and the high number used for the night. Or the same meter.
Mami, say any economy that runs in the
they say who party who be the policy, but you be scrutinized. Because of because the year who be paying, I see a scrutinized money who be a model policy no ever. Policy direction. You say a quarter and I say a chair.
Me to say perfectly because near MPP be here ni promise on my and Munji Ghana fund debut. Mundi. Oh no, so Mun be paying. And the one is one factory in buyer, 1 village, 1 million per constitution buyer. And yeah, no man penny John the money, Mama baby.
And I may say, a fence, I was a smart meters with this. Is this a mobile metering system no more? And more provided smart meters, no, and your mom now smart meters, and I said, more can say, Uber run it 24 no in the evening, no shift, no. Mobile reduce electricity tariffs and your maomo. Mobile reduce their band, their momo, no. How are you going to do it? How?
Mamiama, who sound him say, you can say, when say your off peak period, and our peak period. Now, when say, Anapa, sorry, what your iron, or be your fridge, why you are doing, why you call, what are you phone? At that time, there's a consumable of electricity. Hi. Now, Adrian, you your late news by 10 o'clock. Your electricity is waste. And then I excess capacity ideas
already reduced at a reduced rate.
Excess capacity is waste. And in the can say we going to Obia Juma or best signing up to 24-hour economy. Yeah, more a meter that will give you that kind of incentive.
It is a meter and maybe something connection and the affair.
Oh, Mamma, Madam, as someone on the making. As someone on the making.
And just say, two different.
No, Mamma, more fear with you who faces of electricity. I'm imagine now, you can only change it to one face to another face.
That be one face.
No, but the people, no, me fear. Mamma, me fear come use 2 faces.
Maybe I won't fear now. You
use 2 faces. So you can, if one face is not one, you can tune it to another face. Mamma, mother, what is single woman? I said, do something about it. On the master, the man iron it.
It's a while.
Oh no, I couldn't iron.
Obi a wote cantonment no better than why experience a doom so.
Mambiama, me say me fear. Me no kase be fear no. There's light off. And upon the light went off. Don't so about. I don't want to talk about that.
And I'm maybe say.
So mambiama,
no. Who dey measure that ni wa be di hu nko. So also can committee now mo.
Oh mambiama, yes. We are
the policy together.
Yes.
Good.
So mambiama, so
ne can say.
Na ye wie no a na adwuma no rane a. Na kweti osano pa onkotena petition ba na ayarek oso kwa na anti municipal cotton wachi e construction economy anti ni de but I want say MPP for there almost say oh ade e koso e chobas e koso mami there's a difference between essential service economy and a 24-hour economy mami essential service economy when is the police for omun strike when say even the hospital sector those are essential service economy. And here can say even the 24-hour economy by we expand it. Mama, sometimes I don't know what doing come on so hospital. Now, person show intent na hospital. That you do 24-hour economy. Who you show no you na 11 o'clock PM crowd. But to hospital. Mama, Ejuan kwa. Mama, the NDC is bringing job to the doorstep of the people. Mama, John Dramani Mama is going to revamp the economy. Mama, Abaya ultimate collapse in Honjuma. NAPCO is collapsed. We are aware. None of Bamia Company Limited. It's collapsed. Mama, the budget Eco 2024, no, we are running a deficit of 50 billion. This is where we have gotten to. But me gidi say me gidi say omampani John Dramani mama bayi. Obey am I fair. That no ha. Me let me just be honest with you and be honest. That me new. That me new jina. And oba be see 700 Ghana cedis on hospital. We have to come in. We have to come in and help. Sanka oba yanko wu at the baby. But your omampani John Dramani kase. Sao bayi.
Mo baye. Send out my penny that a fence for or the free maternal one buy mobile be free. What is the guarantee? Ghana for Belgium wedi.
UK government and the National Youth Employment, Mr. Sorry, and the National Health Insurance Policy. May you know, Mampany Kuforta, and I'm here to hospital. Until a part of the topic here. The UK government, I won't say, Sebi, Teresa Kufor, there's a the currency. And on now, negotiation on that. We are given 10 million euro for that policy. Say, you be maternity Obabi Ababu no na yatumia shenama Obana timia wo because we know that was a major problem you're facing. Me krom humbi there. Maybe in terms of labor, which is not correct. And to start here, Omampany mills buy and I say, or the national health insurance policy. When is the president for the mutual health insurance buy? That was limited to the district. Omampany John Dramani, Omampany mills buy no. Or the national Mampany moving from mutual to national health insurance. And all the car. In fact, we even added major surgical cases. Mambiama, major surgical cases those days was typhoid preparation. There was no potable water. Only the national security water insecurity. Yet the car, yet the cases of lipoma, typhoid preparation, fistula, and all the major surgical cases the car, and I did manage the car. And no man penny John Dramani mama buy no. And also yes, panning into female mortality. And I can see only Dodua Hospital, 100-bed capacity based on surgical and delivery cases. And two better, I will need wire report. Minister, the other time international community require you interview on that. You say you have him. The end is never and ever a him. And the end MPP on mobile. They've carved national health insurance. Mambia, crown them yeah policy, but national health insurance crown. When I hear the pot, it will scare you. And we yes, tax no. And here we have Ghanaians at heart. We believe in Ghanaians, and they are our responsibility. And you must say, yeah, come together as people. They come together as Ghanaians. Now, Mampany John Dramani about come 2025 January 7th. Yeah, Baba Muyi, next started policy and program now. Mambiama, Mijidi pass a crown, Okabe ambassador of.
Thank you so much, Richard Maneribe of the NDC. Julius, let's move on to NPP, mo flag bearer, your friend saying, mo running mates issue, no, they say one echo.
You mammy, say, Richard, don't say, baby, I didn't do and say, you go explain tire. Maybe I didn't could do the part there, but I am there say, maybe almost all policy 24-hour economy. No, they will still give tax incentive.
More blue economy bills
I said the digital economy.
No, that's not true, Mambiama. Blue economy, Mambiama. You see, Mambiama. No, this issue. I don't want to talk about it. No.
The blue economy is your policy.
Blue economy.
Mama say 24 hours.
Yeah, blue economy.
24/7
economy. I'm telling you, Dramani, blue economy.
Maybe
no, also can say 24 hours.
Blue economy, your mama. Yeah. Blue economy is. Mambiama, no, let me clear this. No, to be honest, we told you, Mohammed, I didn't talk. Good. Blue economy is basically on sea economy. It's basically sea economy.
What is sea economy?
Your oil economy. That's what it means. Yeah, the natural resources.
Why is it called blue?
That's what economists term it. And the government, the World Bank, and yet now check the blue economy. Then we said the US economy was 26 trillion, isn't it? So that the US economy is 23 trillion. But the Ghana, the on-top natural resource and blue economy is 24 trillion. So one of the Mampany John Dramani Mama was starting out creating more of the oil well. say a shot of more of the oil. And you start here. And that is why the MPP today using. And now question about blue economy. How many way did you create?
That's it.
Then we are on a blue economy.
I was a medical I said, I didn't need you money there, you go explain to ya.
That's evidence.
Let's see. Maybe I'm tax incentives there, idea a babe boa team for boa businesses. Under 1D1F, no, most of local companies are almost signing on board on my application. Opese unya incentive if you are buying on any bonnet. Tax incentive, stabilize businesses, stimulate businesses, boa my businesses how kakra. All in all, no say business need to meet Jinan and 9 so. Now utimi be a trainer share so the capacity production wise no omutimi tretre jumemua the ultimate beneficiary no buying because the businesses no threat now orders cost supplies more customers cost na GDP growth rate in one semana no more deboa or mine. Then in turn around no they will start paying their taxes back again into government. It incentives nini na say okay eto amobe aban beje no as say no mo njina mo na so mo munyedu no ntinu mugusu a edidwa no aban no stay on eto jeje no enti say eba ne sa pe esika omo benya nini na no they will reinvest back into the business. They will plow back all their profits into the business and expand. Omo expand there is growth rate. Omo be employed. The focus now mame stay BIAMAH is creation of jobs and industrialization. 2024 and beyond, all policy direction, what we are promising, as I say, we'll be able to achieve the industrialization drive. Because maybe in it, and I will be creating demand. So, uncreated demand, you can't talk about 24-hour economy. Also, advance on Muguso 18 policy. The emphasis and the focus is to create the demand for the country. The demand and the demand can come in all the sectors of the economy. My sector, economy sectorial, categorized into 3: agriculture, industry, manufacturing, any services. So, in which of these categories, you be able to run the 24-hour economy? If you don't create the demand in agriculture, your farmers what demand are you going to create? Livestock production, poultry production, all those areas, the demand must be created. And only here share addressing substitution.
I would think there is already a demand, but your policies are unable to satisfy the demand.
Wait,
yes, certainly. Offer manufacturing, all those companies under manufacturing sector, you have to create the demand. Services, mami BIAMAH, yejumaya moha muye service provision amoye. How do you create that demand for the 24-hour economy? And these are the tough questions we have to ask and seek clarity. And no. Again, under another categorization of the economy, maybe individuals, for IFA and consumer spenders for. Then you move on to the business category. Then you come to government. All these 3 categorization of the economy, how do you create the demand? Pick all the government sector, the public sector, and work it out. How do you create the demand? Is it something that can be sustained? When the demand is created, then you can focus, okay, then you can put more people to work. You can engage more people to render services, and you can engage more people in the agri sector. And I think that these are the parameters I will say yetimi edit to the 24-hour economy. Until that, so when me establish the demand, you cannot run a 24-hour economy. And that is what may expect Richard Man and the NDC to come back again. I don't know for Busa. It's tax incentives in there. It's one of the measures are buying edible stimulated the growth in the economy. Now for factories, businesses, individuals ebe how no many GDA say omubetimi at now my name edidwa. Mame BIAMAH adeba kwa advocate say we want to promote as much as more. Yen Ghana for now local entrepreneurs. Your friend be capital flight. The foreigners for niba be di ejuma or my nimua. Omunya faso na no mo de kwa brochre. Repatriation of profit and no crime so na insusu so be say your currency no because or repatriate sika na obesa exchange akọ dollar akọ pound akọ euro no the free or my nimu e de akọ. Eti when ye timemu for ye partner promote local entrepreneurs ankra djuma mutimi omwo ebia omutimi bia ndjuma no omunya sika na omufa nko bebia oman ni mu ana omde betina omde tina oman ni mu nko mutimi ndi omesande ahye djuma ni mu adjuma no etumpo ani afa embebu na adjuma. And that is the focus, that is the policy direction. Say create the jobs, create the industries, and that is the demand. And no na di demand be ba ma we say adjuma busu bebre. Now you graduate for your motifia or bay, I'll be bretifia 4, 5 years, 10 years, a lot of frustrations on their faces. Now ejume buso. Share UK care system here abasu maybe because they have created a demand. They are bringing all people all over the world to come and work. The demand is there. Care system here more share eject people like what amanoneno. So until you categorize the economy no, and you begin to do it specific base. Demand, yeah. Then you can come back and then talk about that 24-hour economy. No? But until then, the facilitating say ease of doing business, technology know-how. Now, Sylvester can about technology and all its impact. Local content. On say most of our contracts say the local content. Ghana for no, there will be transfer of technology. Now, if you know you pay Ghana for no will take charge of all the various sectors of our economy. You see, leveraging on IT technology, leveraging on information systems to be able to enhance your economy. No, maybe I'm only the digital economy. Maybe I'm digital economy influencer. 80 Richard.
Money for you come in.
Go the difference between digitalization and digitalization. Digitalization and digitalization.
Oh, by the same word.
Digitalization and what?
Digitalization and digitalization.
But it's the same.
It's not the same.
I see.
Digitization and digitalization. Difference in here.
Maybe
the difference is that also Obi. I established a framework of the tool to make sure that the IT runs. And Obi be download the app now.
There are a lot of businesses. As I say, you know, Instagram. Or Facebook, who feel with me or that.
A capacity of 10,000. What?
About
you, the American says, "Hey, 24-hour economy." No,
quick, because of time, please.
What are we discussing?
Yeah.
Well, you know, I have a.
Now I was asking him, say, does he still have anything about the minority kicking against these tax incentives? Only be there. Then we talk about NPP, one more running mate selection.
Okay, so that he didn't even. Okay, let me learn. Now that's what I say.
You won't be on your time. I gave you the floor.
The floor. You spoke for a while.
I gave you the floor.
But let me learn.
Attention.
The flag bearer of the NPP and the NDs, you know, quite an important. Debbie, Yanyan Chusi.
Now, flag bearer.
Yanyan Chusi.
Dabena will choose flag bearer and Robert Chusu. CPP 2024 election.
Yamusana Naya Jantwa, General Secretary. To the best of my knowledge, you know, be participate. But Nanaya Jantwa is the General Secretary. In Tiswa, Ghana for Meniasia. It's Yemusana na ya Jantwa. But as communication director, no, to the best of my knowledge, you know.
I'm going meeting Grandma for.
But there were problems where a party, but yen two to that. Like yen two to that. About no me can say because of the reality, say New Patriotic Party, New National Democratic Congress, I produce leadership our country move over the past 30 years. No? The issue of the choice of vice presidential candidate for these two leading parties are quite important. Now, of course, I don't have an influence in how our more choose or more vice presidential candidates. But I'd like to start with the New Patriotic Party because they are in power. And my prayer, then again, my prayer no crampono. I don't know how important it is because they are going to lose one way or the other. So 20. No, they'll lose to CPP. I was saying, say, CPP tradition, in Nkrumah's tradition, in 1979, he presented Dr. Hilary Mann 3 months to the election, and we won. So don't underestimate the CPP. But even further, but even more importantly, and they say, so 3 months to the election, and we won. So I say, so don't underestimate the potential of the CPP. But even more importantly, don't underestimate the resolve of Ghanaians, you understand, to sweep the NDC and the NPP to the side so that the CPP can come and provide work and happiness. However, in the absence of our choice of flag bearer and in the absence of our flag bearer, the Americans say more are quite important. In Tiname Pese me started our party in power. Nanwada our president Kufuado. Eko chusu penyin bi edidi nachi. Obey president. Papa no sisi oye vice president. I'm talking about His Excellency Vice President Bawumia. Won't mean deliver on his promise. Eduma no ye fa no yes one economy. Vice President Bawumia begin also say the money is there. The money is there. We will just toll the roads and we will get the money. Say na ye henya. So and then subsequent to the election of President Akufo-Addo and his vice, Dr. Bawumia, the country has just gone from bad to worse. So to the extent say Dumsona President Mahama it is now back with us essentially. So and Obama Michelle it mean to ye. I power name me baby I met here. So enti the American can say as it were with the New Patriotic Party Ghanaians are saddled with the Vice President Dr. Bawumia, unfortunately. So I say, and I cannot see how that the New Patriotic Party, having chosen a gentleman who is largely clueless about how to resolve the economic misfortune of Ghana, I don't see how Dr. Bawumia can find a candidate that is better than his poor self. About the American, I don't see how Dr. Bawumia is going to be able to, locate a candidate. And even if he does locate that candidate, if that candidate exists, because Sana MP before I said we have the men, it turned out to be Dr. Bawumia, and it turned out to be nothing, really. I mean, the performance is proof of the pudding. What I say, Enti said Dr. Bawumia na ono obo last no. As we kwa choose will be a bedinachi. No, the Nabejina says any pani baba vice president and potentially the head of the economic management team. And then I feel very, very sorry for Ghana because the economic messiah, as Dr. Bawumia was proclaimed to be by President Akufo-Addo, and no. So, I don't see much future for Ghana with the President Bawumia, the vice president. And then talking about the vice president for NPP. I'm Metia no almost chairman won't to me now the vice president.
Oh, really?
Yeah. My here MPP for na me sure more TV so minya impression be okay MPP for no omo ya in power but they are acting as if Ghana is belonging to them and they are god of Ghana. Iti omo hye na me MPP ni bi o area holding kon omo hye president na ko si 2050 MPP for no say some say Dr. Bawumia ne won't to me chairman won't to me and eba it is about Bawumia free honum in 2032 2032
book be mu na ko hu
Chichi MPP ni na ka kire me MPP ni serious MPP pa and what kire me say omo de chairman won't to me Obama me
yes
no but it's not hearsay see what Oba, do you know who's going to be the vice president for?
Yeah, I don't know.
That is something more filler. Me information can see pa. Oba the chairman won't to me neighbor. But the me can say such chairman won't to me no. Omo plan say ba umia bedi 8 years. Into we are not chairman won't to me aba na say Asante forces when ya chairman won't to me. Now Asante for ni be nya chairman won't to me a. No makwa akọfe papa na no war natural resources no. Amewu. Aha, in 2032 no. MPP for the amewu ba vice presidential candidate.
Will be 90 years by then.
That's 8 years. 8 years from now. 8 years from now. 8 years time no. So I say Obama no see an say the whole the American say New Patriotic Party for the NDC for no. Omo no ayo omo hu Nyankopon wo Ghana ha. E na o ma hye presidency no up to the year 2042. So, the enkosi baby because they have nothing to offer.
One so na me nim say won soprano no say soprano
under 1 minute.
The soprano won say because of the position the NDC for me friend oni omodi nkomo because they want
na we mu pa san go bo come NDC.
Oh so ma enu kra
we mu pa nka soprano kasa bebre for NDC.
No me nim no soprano
Oba be am ko fa ka so mama.
Who said the idea no? Who can assets?
Yes, mama. And no cano. And as me phone so because only is a lot of communication of the new CPP. Because come in Kumadi, and I can't be a customer coming command there on one. And to be on information. Because I mean say a running mate to me. Only because to be the policy by. Or the MPP and the policy or say, see astroturf. No, my man can have a ball. To move you are not.
Thank you so much for coming.
Yes.
Julius, thank you so much for coming. Sylvester Sapo Soprano, thank you for coming. Madam Munyana, Sisamo Baba Boame. Unfortunately, me phone lines and to move for the second time, Emma Moore. It is a to me first time in the year, not just in Shirano, Medasepa, Fachaman, Yamea Domoa, Biawada, maybe BIAMAH, Dodo Wine. Obi Awuchi Bre, it's ye, as Sadaka and Command, made the production team, as say, Joe Damia Domagero, Sachi, my friend Ma, Nana Yao Safo. Wanda Romana, we won't bomb Michido, Mammy Jume Bremo. Beginning at the MAAME BIAMAH AKWAFO, bet me a friend BMZ one woman, Gadama, Miss Soja BIAMAH bro for there. Oh, friend me a major, so many did you made you, which I miss sorry, Ola Michael Baba Jedra. No idea and Tata at the end, Akofi from Mano, Siaba Bono, Siaba, no Siaka Sebono, every piece 104.3 FM at the Baba Somo. It was Sippy Macrao.